All right. What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Watch I'll Stand 98.6. I'm here with my boy Clay, and we're supposed to have Aaron Veach on, voice of Siege Prowl, but apparently take didn't happen. So here we go.
Man,
Aaron
just
back in.
dipped, bro. You saw him like flip sideways and he was just gone. Oh yeah, look at that. Got the YouTube notification. Oh, he's
There
back.
we go. Sorry about that, guys.
Same thing happened with Sean, and like every
You
guest
gotta-
we have on, like always happens.
See, I wish there was a better service we could use, but I'm not really sure because I know there's like
Yeah.
Google Meets, but then you won't see like live comments and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh,
it
that is
what it
kind of
is. So,
nice.
Aaron, would you like to introduce yourself to everyone in the chat right now? We got 3 people on.
Yeah, sure. Hey guys, my name's Aaron Veach. I'm a voice actor. I'm in Burbank, California. The reason you guys are having me on the show, which by the way, thank you for having me. I voice Prowl in
No problem.
Netflix
Thank you for being
and
with us.
Rooster Teeth's Transformers War for Cybertron Siege. So
Dope.
And you did an exceptional
Yes.
job, I will say. I enjoyed Prowl.
Oh, thank you.
Definitely.
He's definitely an
Yeah.
interesting character.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun playing the little cop bot.
Yeah,
He
the
was
part
pretty
where
good. He was
you
enjoyable.
talk about Paraxis and everything, that was pretty cool. The jet fire. I like their
Yeah,
dynamic.
yeah.
That part was actually really well done. Like you really could feel
That
the
was-
emotion out of everyone in that whole
Mhm.
scene. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
You
I
just
gotta
hear
give
the
a shout out
depression.
to yeah.
Yeah,
You can just hear the depression in
You
his voice,
feel-
like just like the Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah. It's a time he's not proud of, and yeah, you can tell Prowl's seen some stuff.
Definitely.
Definitely. You
Yeah,
feel the
and I gotta give a
desperation,
shout out
and I thought that was
to
pretty
Keith
awesome.
too, the guy who voiced Jetfire did a tremendous job in that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I
also
love
another voice
Jetfire.
actor I really like.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
so how exactly did you like get started on this project? How did you just find out that they needed a Prowl, and you thought that'd be interesting? Was there like a flyer, or like they hit you up personally?
I'm sorry, it cut out a little bit there. You were asking how I found out about the project, and
Oh, okay.
then
yeah.
Like
That's
how
what he
did you
said.
find out that?
How'd you figure out that they needed that, and all that?
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There's a few different websites that when you get into acting, you have to pay a membership fee for the site, and then that's where you find breakdowns and things. You can also get breakdowns like that through like an agent or a manager. This particular one, I had actually worked with the company who handled casting. They're called Horseless Cowboy. I had worked with them on another project. It was actually one of my first big boy pro voiceover jobs. It's called The Evil Within 2. I had 2 real small parts in that. But yeah, I saw that there was a breakdown, and they use code names for everything in voice acting. That's real common. That's top secret, right? So had no idea what I was auditioning for at the
Oh, that's
time.
interesting.
Go in and then recognize Austin from Horseless Cowboy, which I doubt he's watching, but if he is, hey bud.
Oh,
He's one of the producers with Horseless Cowboy, and so right away they sent me with some additional characters to read for, people they thought I might be a good fit for. And yeah, then the rest is history, man. Went home, did my homework, realized very quickly what it was. That's an important thing too.
That's
I
awesome.
think
It's actually dope.
Sean and I have talked about that too. Sean Hawkins, you know him from he voices Mirage.
Awesome guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. But yeah, he and I chatted about that casting process, just kind of the similar journey we went on in terms of having no clue what we were auditioning for, going home, doing a little bit of homework, kind of decoding the script, picking up some clues that were there, and then being like, oh, that's what this is. And then
crazy.
Immediately getting incredibly nervous about it, not wanting to screw it up. So
That's crazy. I like that though. Get that mystery and everything.
That's awesome.
yeah.
Another thing, when you mentioned, like we were talking the other night and everything, like about the Evil Within, dude, that is a fun video game series. I'm not gonna lie, it's terrifying.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah, they're fun, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, sadly enough, I haven't played through the second one. I have problems with some some like first person and third person games just give me really bad motion sickness. So so unfortunately, some of them I'm just out. Even though I try them and I love them, I'm like, oh, this is great. It's just 20 minutes in, and I'm like, boo, turning green. So
I get that in the car all the time. Like when I try to read and stuff like that, it always
Yeah,
happens.
definitely.
yeah. So luckily, someone put my scenes from that game on YouTube. Otherwise, I would never have gotten to see or hear my work. So so thank you, whoever did that.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out then. I like that.
So, a question I had, what do you call it? When you were doing Prowl, did you like, were you inspired at all by actual G1 Prowl? Because I know we mentioned Sean, he kind of varied from the G1 Mirage. Were you inspired by Prowler, or were you like
I
inspired by
gotta
taking
say
your own
yes
kind of
and
style?
no. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were done. It cut out.
Oh, no, good. I was done anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say yes and no. That's kind of the and don't get me wrong, it's a welcome struggle. I am thrilled to be a part of such a storied franchise with such a huge history. Um, but the kind of interesting thing is you never want to be doing an impersonation of someone else, right? You don't want to just be copying someone else's work.
Definitely, yeah.
So inspired by to an extent, yes, absolutely. I mean, Michael Bell's work in G1 was fantastic.
Definitely.
I know I actually have not seen it, but checking out clips even just because I know it was such a huge fan response to Jeff Bennett's work as Prowl. So definitely like kind of checking out what they did and why it worked. So inspired in that sense, yes, absolutely. Like, what was it that they captured about the essence of who Prowl is as a character that did work, but not inspired by in the sense that I would ever try and repeat what they did or imitate what they did. I mean, we're talking about some iconic performances that I would only do a disservice both to their work and to my own if I tried to imitate it. So.
Definitely.
And ultimately too, another point is, and I think this is an important one that you guys touched on a little bit when you were talking about the different iterations of the franchise, right? Each one's got its own tone and its own style.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what Michael Bell did in G1 worked perfect with G1.
Definitely.
If you take that performance and put it in Siege, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. I don't know. I'm not saying it wouldn't. It's just you never know, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta make the performance fit the tone of the show. Yeah.
Definitely 100%.
Yeah.
That's why I enjoyed Siege so much. Is like, although some of the voices I didn't like, the voices that I did like, they really conveyed the whole dark, desperate tone. Like you did, Mirage did, Megs did, everyone. Like I think Megs was one of my favorite. He was kind of slowish, but he really just compared to G1 Megatron, who sounded like really trill and high pitched. He was a lot more darker, more serious, which I enjoyed a lot about the Siege show.
Yeah. And thank you, man. That's a great compliment and a great shout out. Yeah, I agree. I'm a huge fan of Jason's work as Megatron. I've been watching, actually, Clayton, from your recommendation, I've been watching Transformers Prime. And it's interesting that you bring up Frank Welker's work from G1 because he voices Megatron in
completely
Prime as
different
well.
too.
Yeah, totally different. So yeah, it goes back to that tone of the show thing, right? Prime is a little bit more adult than G1. G1 was definitely like Saturday morning kids cartoon stuff, and Prime is a little bit more like teen oriented, and the vocal performance reflects that. And Frank Welker is a legend.
He is a legend.
Yeah.
Even Peter Cullen's Optimus in that show, I mean, including Bavers too. I mean, it sounds completely different too. It's like so much more serious. I just love it.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
And then making it your own thing, that's amazing. Yeah, like copying other people's, it's just, I mean, the only time I feel like you should even like slightly like try to like, of course, take inspiration, but really try to copy someone's is if like say something happens to that voice actor, or they can't do it anymore, and so it's in the same like show or something like that, and you just have to like keep it as close as possible. But
absolutely agree. Yeah, and I mean you see stuff like that happen a lot, even in like, for example, Looney Tunes cartoons, right? The guy who voiced most of the characters, Mel Blanc, passed away quite a while ago. And there have been, this is a testament to his talent too. The characters that he voiced required several voice actors to replace.
Wow.
So yeah, it's you're right though. Yeah, there are some instances where you can't help it. Something tragic happens, or um, for whatever reason they're not able to voice the character the same way, and then then it's acceptable to do an imitation. I'd say that's probably about the only time though.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I take that back, satire too. If you're doing it mockingly, right? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not wrong. Yeah, yeah, that's true too. I'm wondering where Derrick is, man.
Yeah, I don't
Derrick
know.
disappeared too. Derrick was just
Yeah.
here too. I don't know. Whatever. It is
I
what
just
it
peeked
is.
in the comments. I'm sorry.
Oh wait, we have
There's a lot of
guests.
people.
Derrick,
See,
take it down.
yep.
Speak of the devil, man. We're adding him right now.
Oh, Derrick's adding in?
He's here.
Stage.
There he is. I
What's up, Derrick? I was just wondering where you were. All of us were.
was like,
Yeah,
Derrick,
I
you were
was
just
wondering
here, and then
What's
you're just
going on,
gone.
bro?
I was listening to y'all talk about me. I'm like, I'm sitting in backstage like right now. I'm sitting here.
I
But,
just
alright,
saw.
what's up?
Yeah, but here is Aaron. This is Siege Prowl. We're having a chill
He's just
conversation
gone
so far, so I'm glad you can join us.
He's just
No
gone
kidding,
again.
I
Oh,
guess
there he
so.
is.
Good, bro. How you doing, man?
What's up, Derrick? How you doing, man?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
Oh, sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you, man. It's real quiet on your end.
Oh, I said I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Just having a good time chatting with your buddies here. I just peeked in the comments too. I saw someone's like, "Why is Aaron so chill?"
Why is he so chill?
And I also saw,
Yeah, Clay mentioned this before.
I
He
think
was
his name is
like, "Aaron's such a
Jackson,
cool
JC?
dude." I was like, "All right, let's go." Yeah, JC,
Yeah,
my
exactly.
boy.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the first time I DM'd him, bro, I was like immediately, I was like, he's chill. I can already tell it. There's a lot of
well,
people.
thanks, guys. You're making me feel at home here, so
No
it's
problem.
easy to
It's
be
like-
chill.
It has like the most welcoming smile, dude.
That's what it's all about.
That's what I'm saying, bro. What's up, Ryan? What's Matthias? We got Shantina in here. We got JC44. We got Deadlock. We got Transformers Guy Studios. All Spark Studios. Kato's Halloween. Oh, Kato's in here.
It's not letting me see the chat anymore. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, popping.
What's up, guys?
We got a lot of people in here right now. Jeez,
Hey,
It's
man,
crazy.
Everybody's ready for proud.
it's fact, dude. Oh, and shout out to Shantina, bro. She's promoting it a lot on her story, actually. She's saying ditch the election watching and go tune into this. It's gonna be more interesting anyway. I was like, yes.
Oh, that cracked me up. Yeah. Yeah, I also enjoyed there were a couple people God, I'm blanking who it was. Someone posted a promo of it with the Riding Dirty song.
That was Roger, I think.
No, I think it was Jackson. It
Yeah, that
Oh
killed-
God.
Who was it?
might have been Jackson.
Was it?
I'm not sure,
Oh,
but I
I
know I
would
did
be
see
surprised.
I
it.
think it was. Yeah.
It probably was Jackson, actually. I was saying, yeah, Roger has posted the picture, and then we got Riding Dirty coming up. That killed me earlier when I saw that.
Oh man.
Got a lot of people. Yeah, that's a lot of people. I'm actually impressed. Last time we only had like I think a maximum like 5 or 6. Now it's just like up to like 10. It looks like.
Oh man, Allspark Studio, thank you so much. I just saw your comment.
Yeah,
Thank
man,
you.
I'm, like,
That means a
proud
lot.
too, dude. Like,
That's
geez.
Sunny Miss, isn't it, Roger? I think All Spark Studios is Sunny.
What's up? You kind of cut out there for a bit.
All Spark Studios, that's Sunny, right?
Yeah, he is. That's our boy, son.
I thought so. Yeah, Sunny, bro. He's a
Look at this,
legend.
Look, Matthias is saying something nice for once. I just want to say I'm super proud of the channel. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, bro. Good looks, homie.
Yeah,
Did you say he's saying something nice for once? Does he not normally?
Yeah.
We
This is
can
our
tell you
boy
stories about
Matthias.
Matthias. Matthias is something else.
But Aaron, another
Funny.
question I had was, outside of like Transformers, what other like voice acting roles have you like really gone through? Like, what have you done? What have you tried out, etc.?
Boy. I gotta say that's definitely been my highest profile gig that I've booked so far. That and The Evil Within 2. Most of the other stuff I've done has been kind of low budget independent, which I'm still super proud of. That's not a knock against that stuff at all. It's just letting you know that you've probably never heard of it. So one of them was a mobile game. It's actually a big property. It's just you probably wouldn't ever have played it or heard my work in it. It's the card game they play in Skyrim.
I think I played Skyrim. I think I know what you're talking about.
I don't
Actually,
play Skyrim, so I
Don't remember the name of the card game, but they basically made a mobile version of that game. So it's like a game that exists within the Skyrim universe, and then they made a mobile version of the game, and it's like a card battle game. And so that was a situation where it was like, voicing like 6 or 8 different characters, doing a bunch of different accents. It was funny. You walk into the studio that day, I have no idea what I'm getting myself into, and the director's just like, "All right, I hope you're ready for a workout." And then they just throw a bunch of stuff at you and basically see what you can and can't pull off. So yeah, a bunch of different accents and different characters. That was fun. And then most of the other stuff that I've done has been podcast format. So like narrative radio plays and things like that. I've actually got one coming out soon that I still can't talk about. I've been under lock and key on that one almost as long as I was for Transformers. But it's like a political dramedy, I guess.
Oh, that's interesting.
But it'll be interesting. It plays out almost like a millennial themed sitcom, but it's in podcast format. So
that's interesting, actually.
yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I play a motocross guy. He's a twin. Him and his sister are motocross riders, and he's kind of a himbo.
This is gonna be amazing.
Where can we check that out at?
Yeah, when's that?
I don't know for sure where it's going to be. I know it got picked up by a broadcast company called Westwood One. They're a big broadcast company that typically focused on sports broadcasts, but with the pandemic and all the sports stuff shutting down for a while, they ventured out to other avenues. So as soon as it's available, I'll post it on my Insta. I'm going to share the hell out of that thing. I'm really proud of it. So
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Definitely.
we'll definitely promo for you. Just let us know.
oh,
Yeah.
thanks guys.
Definitely.
Of course, man.
Yeah, and likewise, I'm impressed by the channel you got going here. This is a cool idea.
Starts it off with Studio Series Leadfoot. Studio Series Leadfoot gains like 200 subscribers in like a week.
Oh wow.
And Raj
It's because it was the first like
And then,
US
every other video gets like
English review of
12,
it.
15, 28 videos. Yeah, it was crazy. It's like I thought about doing a YouTube channel for a while because like as a kid I grew up watching, toy reviews and stuff. So then one of my friends hits me up and say, "Hey dude, I found Leadfoot at Target." And he lives like 10 minutes away from me. I'm like, "Oh, hey." So I get him. And I was gonna do a review, but then like I think like half of YouTube was like half of Instagram was like, "Yo, drop a review." I'm like, what better time, you know what I mean? So I dropped it.
Right.
Exposure.
Got a lot of views.
Oh
Everyone
wow.
thought I stole it. But hey, you might as well kick it off.
Yeah.
This
So
show-
did everyone think you were going to do
starting
nothing
this
but
little show
reviews
because,
then? Or?
just to hang out with the homies and just talk about.
Yeah.
I didn't know at the time because like I did reviews, but I kind of fell off. And one day the three of us were in a video call, and another one of our friends was like, "Hey, we started a podcast," and we were like, yeah." So the next day I'm like, "Hey guys, I'm serious about this, bro. Let's do it." So Clay was like, "Yeah, I'm down," and Derrick was like, "I'm down too." So here we are. You know what
That's
I mean?
cool, guys.
Just, just a cool way to chill out.
We did one normal episode, and episode 2 was Sean, which was actually insane. Like I can't believe we got that far just having voice actors on. To be honest, that's insane. Now David Kay and then Lindsay, and oh my god, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
when you told me that, I was stoked. I'm a big fan of David Kay's work on
He's amazing.
Beast Wars and Beast
I'm honestly
Machines.
still
Yeah.
bugging out.
That's
that
another
we
thing,
even
just like
got
Frank
David Kay.
Welker. That's another thing, just like Frank Welker, with like how his G1 voice compared to TFP is like completely different because he went from Beast Wars and Megatron to TFA Optimus. Like I don't even understand that. That's insane.
I still got to
don't get
check
how
that
he
one
did
out. I haven't seen TFA, but yeah, I love his Megatron. Like every time I hear his name, all I can think of is yes.
Dude, that was way too accurate.
That was actually really good.
That was
That was
good.
really good.
That's the one thing I can ever think of too. Is just the yes. we can't gloss over this. Like, we gotta go and clip this, bro.
Honestly, I would just love him to,
That's not me, man. I skipped Beast Wars because of the whole animation. It creeped me out. So
Creeped him out. It gets better as it goes. Like, it's a good show.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it kind of takes you off guard at first, but then like as you like go and like I'd say like 3-4 episodes in, you're just used to it at that point.
Well, it's funny too because like at the time that animation style was
crazy.
Yeah, it was mind blowing. They're like, "Whoa, how are they doing this on a TV budget?" And now you watch it and you're like,
like we've seen better.
yeah, we've been spoiled. But yeah, for its time, it was groundbreaking.
Something you gotta like kind of adapt to because like what do you call it? Over the summer, I played Halo CE and Halo 2 with Clay. So when I started watching it, I was like, "Hey, this is familiar. I like this." I feel like most people don't like. They're like, which I mean, I understand, but at the same time, like, if you look past that, it's a good show.
Definitely.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's definitely
and same thing for like video games and stuff too. Some of the most popular video games of all time, like Pong and Pac-Man, like you don't need the graphics to be really, really good if it's a good game. And I feel the same way about the shows. Like if the animation doesn't hold up well, as long as the story and the performances are still there, that's what's gonna draw you in. That's what you're there for. So the animation helps. Like I'm thankful our animation on Siege looks amazing like it does.
Siege and TFP's animation, those two just are amazing.
I
was blown away by Siege's first episode.
Yeah.
As soon as the Seekers came down, the light reflecting off of them, I was like,
the eyes, dude. The eyes look so alive too. I love the way the eyes look.
Wow.
Yeah, I love the eyes, man.
It's like Siege actually made me
like when the first trailer dropped in maybe like March. I was kind of taken aback. I was like, "This looks amazing. What's going on?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the first impression was pretty great.
Totally different too. Like every other time that I've seen Cybertron portrayed, it's kind of brighter. You know what I mean? It looks a little more alive. And if the whole story is that it's a dying planet because of this battle that's been raging for generations, I wouldn't expect it to look so lively. And this time, like, it looks like a war zone. Like it fits.
Like in a few of the continuities, it looks like there hasn't even a battle at all. Like there's like perfect buildings just sitting around and everything.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with what Polygon and Rooster Teeth did with the show. It looks incredible.
It's crazy.
I'm so thankful to be a part of it.
Too. See what they pull off, just kind of off of Cybertron and everything. It's very exciting.
I can neither confirm nor deny anything. What's that?
I'm really excited for Earthrise. I watched Siege again recently. I got back into it. All the figures have been dropping to Earthrise. I'm like, oh, this is dope. Let's go. The whole the mercenaries coming on. Autobots don't know where they are. Plot point with Cybertron and stuff. I'm very excited
to see how Cybertron's handled too, with like the Autobots that remain behind and everything. It's gonna be very exciting.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and I wish I could comment more, but I think there's gonna be a lot of interesting stuff for you guys to watch and chat about. That's about all I can say.
Right.
So I don't know if you're allowed to tell us this, but will Earthrise be longer than Siege at all?
Or same length?
Honestly, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you that either, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Gotta weed something out of him.
Questions.
Yeah, you gotta try to fish for something.
Yeah, just keep bombarding him.
Yeah, it's trying to trip me up.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, they manipulated me.
I can't wait to see more of Proud of that nature, because like what I really liked was like I like to see more of him being like in this police officer role. I know we didn't get a lot of that in Siege itself, but him talking about the past and that nature, and then him coming to terms with Jetfire.
Yeah, definitely true.
Saving his life and that nature. I find that really interesting. I loved how like Siege did a perfect job of blending the gaps between the Autobots and the Decepticons. So Proud being so overtaken by that. By Jetfire saving him, being like, "Hey, I don't even deserve to have this. Like, just take it, man. Like, because I'm not gonna kill you anyway." And Jetfire's like, "Nah, just keep it." I really love the storytelling. It really massive.
Yeah, man. That's a credit to our writers for sure. I mean, Brandon and Gavin and FJ, they nailed that little arc. ultimately it's Jetfire's arc, right? It's his way to show that he's not a threat, but it helps characterize Prowl too. Like you said, it kind of plants him in. At the start of the show, he's very much anti-Decepticon, right? He's been jaded. He's law enforcement. He's now a warrior, and so everything that he knows of Decepticons is they're bad. Doesn't matter. He doesn't see them as an individual. He just sees them as a category, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's such a powerful parallel to things that are going on in the real world.
It kind of.
I don't want to.
Really,
I don't want to get too political here, but
it's fine.
There's something to be said for that. There's a lot of that going on right now where people are being seen and treated differently. And I think that's powerful. That's the power of art, right? Is to be able to speak about the real world in a way that makes it relatable to people who may not see it from that perspective otherwise.
Right.
Definitely.
So
that's a very good point.
He sees Decepticons as just scum. They're all bad. They're all evil. They're all criminals, whatever the case. And then Jetfire ultimately is kind of more of a moral character than he is. He goes against this dictator in Megatron, going against everything he knows, risking his life because it's the right thing to do. So ultimately, Jetfire shows an example for Prowl of how to be a good guy, and that's just so powerful, man. I really enjoyed that arc too.
Well, thanks for adding more layers to that, man.
Of course.
Yeah. Now that you mention that, like, it's clicking in my head, like, holy crap, that's true. That actually is true. Man. This is like real life stuff kind of conveyed into Transformers, which is dope.
That's interesting.
To me, that's what I love so much about storytelling in general, whether that be writing or directing or acting. Storytelling it's easy people to write it off as like, just entertainment, just TV, just movies. Like, you don't do real work. Right. But at the end of the day, it's storytelling that has kind of been like the oldest human custom, right? Like sitting around a campfire, sharing stories, and that's how you relay knowledge and convey morality. And it's powerful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I feel you. That's fantastic, man.
And Derrick is actually, because like I'd say, like,
appreciate about the Siege show is different. Oh, you got it.
Oh, you can go ahead. Go ahead and finish your saying real fast. Mine will go on for just a second, so go ahead.
Oh, all right. Yeah, one thing I think, like, different character arcs would kind of really developed over the episodes. Like, I thought it was pretty interesting to see how people develop, strengthen their relationships, etc. There was the Jetfire Prowl. There was like Ironhide. I'm not Ironhide. There was Impactor,
Mirage.
Optimus, Alita, stuff like that.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, the Impactor arc is another one, kind of like Jetfire's. Yeah.
I like that one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is, I feel like Siege is amazing, but I feel like it was there was one thing it was lacking, and that was just the fact that they alluded to a lot of things of the past and everything. And I feel like had they shown more of that, it would have enhanced it. And like with Derrick is actually making a prequel show to it, explaining like what got them to like exactly where they were in Siege, and it's gonna hopefully enhance a lot of that. It's exciting.
Oh, that's really cool. That's a great idea. Yeah.
I'm very excited for.
So I feel like that's the only thing the show really was lacking. It's just like they kept talking about the older days, but it'd be cool if we could have saw more of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one thing. I've seen that criticism a few times, that it's it's a short season. 6 episodes is not a lot, and I agree. And it does make some storytelling elements difficult, right? Like there's a lot of story to cram into 6 episodes. There's a lot of character development to get done in 6 episodes.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, for one, I'm with you. I wish we could have seen more. 2, I think that's brilliant. Like if you want to see more and it's not there, why not make it yourselves, right?
Exactly. That's one thing I like about how when studios do stuff like that is they leave it out just so like fans can really kind of like interact with it and make something of their own to help them kind of explain more in their own way. And then another thing is like I just can't imagine how cool it would have been just to see like like Prowl actually back in his younger cop days and everything. That'd been amazing.
yeah. Get some of the backstory on like why he
One
became
thing I
so
would have
jaded.
loved to
You
see
know?
was
Yeah.
yeah, that would have been really dope. One thing I would like to see is Prowl and his brothers, Smokescreen and Blue Streak. I would love to see what
Exactly.
their mechanic was like, all three together. I was hoping to see them in the show, but
Yeah.
unfortunately they weren't. So maybe in Earthrise, but it would have been cool to see just three brothers. Maybe see
Wait.
maybe they're related to Arcade too, and see how that would have worked out.
Oh, that that
I
could
know
be
the four of them are
interesting.
the practice natives and all. So
Yeah.
Right.
that would have
Wait,
been
hold
interesting.
up. This Isaac Weaver, he said what I loved about Siege is that there were no good characters by the definition of the word, which is so true today. And I agree with that 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's
Yeah.
so easy to write off
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah.
as like that dictator and such and just go for Optimus. But the problem with Optimus was he wasn't taking anybody else's opinions into consideration. For him, it was, this is my way, this is how we're going to do things. The Allspark got to go. And when people told him no, he said, well, we're going to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like how like
For
Optimus
sure.
isn't shown to be this all-knowing, wise person, and Megatron isn't just shown to be this evil, degrading person. Because even Megatron, he was trying to be merciful. He kept trying to give people a chance to surrender. He was regretful about killing Ultra Magnus. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of conflict with him as well. And even though at the end of the day he is Megatron, so he's not going to be like the good guy in a sense. He's not entirely like the bad guy either, because with everything in Siege as a whole, is basically just like you just need to have a conversation to understand each other. And once you did that, like things will get resolved a lot easier.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
I totally agree with everything you just said, man. Yeah, it's usually not so clear cut, good versus evil, the way that it's often made out to be. And I think that adds so many layers. It gives the viewers, and I'm including myself in that, right? Because I get to watch it right along with everybody.
Yeah.
It gives you more to digest when you're watching it, trying to piece together like who is right, who is wrong. Is there a clear cut right or wrong, or is this one of those issues where maybe it's just a difference of opinion? And then there are other matters where it's like, oh no, Megatron's off the deep end. He's definitely wrong.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And one thing I really liked about this show too is I feel like Lindsay's performance as Alita is kind of Optimus's moral compass, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
he's in danger of going the route of Megatron, just kind of like an equal but opposite direction. And she's the one that's always like, hey, no, we can't be doing this. We got to think about these people and this situation here. And I think her performance was just so spot on to reflect that at this point in time, she's kind of more the leader than he is. And I think that's really interesting too.
Yeah. That's true. It's very true.
I'm sorry. I saw a comment in here that if you guys don't mind, I wanted to.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's see. Where'd it go? Oh, so Jackson says he has a question for me. And then someone else, Allspark Studio wanted to know if Prowl was one of the ones left behind. I don't think they showed. That's all I'll say.
I can't remember either, to be honest.
No. At the end, it was Red Alert, Jetfire,
Alita,
and not RC. I think it was Chromia left behind.
I don't know. I need to rewatch it again, to be honest.
I think it was Chromia. I think
there were a few characters that they showed and never followed up with where they're at and what they're up to.
That's true.
It's kind of ambiguous. You assume they're not on Cybertron, but you don't know they're not on Cybertron. So you're just gonna have to watch. Earthrise to find out.
During the entire battle sequence, people could have gotten buried under stuff or unconscious and stuff, and so you really don't know what's gonna happen. So yeah,
could go anywhere.
Exactly.
And Jackson, you said you had a question, man. What's
I think that's what it is right there. If you
Jackson
see
says,
live action,
oh, there it is. Yep. If you've seen the live action Transformer movies or in Siege, what do you think about Barricade? Ah, that's a good question. To my understanding, this is his first time showing up in animated format, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if he was in G1.
I know he had the design, but I don't know if he ever showed up exactly.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that.
Corrupt police officer. I like it.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
interesting.
I haven't seen all of the Bayformer movies. But from what I did see, I think he looks incredible. I remember that scene that he first shows up in the first one, like they're on the run, you see a cop car show up, and you're like, oh, they're saved. Nope. I thought that was interesting.
Oh, the one of the best scenes in that
The
movie.
punish and enslave on the side.
Yeah, yeah.
That even speaks a lot to today too, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like
yeah.
a
It does,
corrupt
it
police
does.
officer and everything.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
did Michael
so
Bay predict
it's
2020, dude?
Like I've already told this to Roger and everything. Like in my show that I'm making, like I'm having Prowl and Barricade as brothers, and they're both, you know, they're police officers together. But then Barricade starts slipping off the deep end and everything, and he starts, you know, like he's exerting more violence than he's supposed to, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
and
wow,
so
okay.
it's going to create like a rift between them and everything.
So you're
So,
kind of
yeah.
touching on some real life stuff there too. Then that's
Exactly.
great, man. Yeah.
Right. I think it's good to blend in the reality and fiction sometimes, you know, because you want to give people this escape, but you also don't want them to, you know, become lost, that they become blind to what's actually going on in the real world.
In the real world,
So
exactly.
you got to
Right.
be able to have that balance between them. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, which is why I'm hyped for, you know, Derrick's series and stuff. So it'll be like a kind of cool segue to show the past into all the characters and stuff. Because I feel, you know, the characters are well written, but seeing their past was great. And, you know, Derrick's a talented guy. He's a great director and stuff. So I'm actually very hyped for this, you know, this whole series. Because, you know, I'm sure it'll be a banger. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
What format are you guys doing that? Is it going to be
So
animation
it's
or stop motion?
I'm doing
Stop motion? Cool.
Mine's in stop motion too.
Because like stop
Awesome.
motion is like, it's fantastic. You know, I always wanted to do it because it's like, you know, you got the toys moving and everything like that. So it's always been like a passion for me, like personally, just to do a stop motion type animation deal. And with what we call the Transformers escalation, with that, the main character is Megatron, because I felt like in order to tell a complete story that of who Megatron will become, I have to tell a story about Megatron and see how who he becomes affects everybody else. It's kind of like, are you a Star Wars fan? It's definitely something like Anakin's
Sure,
descent.
yeah.
You know, he tries everything he can to be the best person he can be, but he ends up taking a dark turn to become what he thinks he needs to be. You know?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. That would be the best analogy I can do.
Yeah, that's another thing that I think they touched on but didn't really flesh out just because of time.
Yes.
Where they talked about the fighting pits, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that Megatron was a gladiator.
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting. It's one of those where like a person's past doesn't excuse their present behavior, but it might explain it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
whatever vile act that someone commits, whether that they're, you know, a criminal or just a bad person in general, right? They just do and say mean things. Like whatever it is, something led them down that path. Something caused something in them to break where they didn't care for other people anymore, or whatever the case may be. And that's never an excuse. That never makes it okay that they're doing what they're doing. But it is interesting just to gain an understanding of like, oh, so if this thing way back in the past hadn't happened, maybe you wouldn't have turned out so screwed up.
Exactly. So a lot of Megatron's past was full of just loss in general, and I mean, you know, just injustice, and the gladiatorial arena and everything. That was mostly used as like he figured out that was a way for him to really, because that was so popular on Cybertron, and it was, but even though it was really unethical, it was a way for him to really get his voice out there and everything, get a platform, so he could really start putting his ideals out there and everything.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I just saw another question pop up. Allspark Studio says, was Prowl the only character in Siege you tried out for, and what else would you have liked to see from Prowl in Siege? That is a good question. I'm going to answer this one carefully, just because I don't ever want to create the impression that you know, a role was passed on and that's why someone else got it, or I got this because I didn't get something else. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to create any kind of misperception. But it's
definitely.
When I went in for my callback audition, which is for anyone who's never been in the acting world, like that's like it's kind of like a second job interview, right? Like you made it past round one, and now we're gonna really dig in. And our voice director Philip was at that that callback audition, and that man is a wizard. I did read for another character, and within 2 lines of my audition, he was just like, "No, no, 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 this isn't you." I'm like,
Oh,
"Uh-oh."
okay. I'm sorry. Was
Yeah.
was it
So I'm
something
thinking
I
this
said?
is bad news, right?
Right.
And he basically, from hearing me speak, just reading 2 lines of dialogue, he starts saying things about like, you got bullied when you were a kid, didn't you? And you're into some geeky stuff, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a giant science and comics nerd. Like, what? How did you know? I can just hear it in your voice. And so he'd ask me to read a line again, and then I would see him like. So when you're in the recording booth, right? Like you're all alone. There's a big plexiglass
Right.
window, and then on the other side is the control room, and that's where everyone else is. So you cannot hear them unless they want you to hear them. So you're just like reading your lines and then waiting, like,
Right.
okay.
Right.
So yeah, he hears me read, and he presses the button to pipe in, and yeah, that's not you. And then he's like, read that line again, and I see him just close his eyes and just listening. And then that's when he comes in with the, you got bullied, and he comes up with like all this stuff where I'm just like, how did he do that? So then he wanted me to read for another character, which they actually didn't have the sides for. I was reading. He's like, here's the character you're going to be reading for, and it was Prowl. He's like, you're going to be reading for a character named Prowl, who's basically the strategic genius of the Autobots. He's a cop. He's got a law enforcement background. He's very black and white with how he sees things. It's good and bad, and there's not much room for in between. And I'm reading all this, and I'm okay. But then I had to read Jetfire's lines as if I were Prowl, because that was the script that was on the page for the audition. So I didn't technically read for Jetfire. I was just reading Jetfire's lines. But yeah, then he heard me read that and was like, "This is more along the lines of what I'm looking for." It had some more direction. He's a phenomenal voice director. I don't know how he picks up on such small things just from hearing someone speak or act or read a line. It's crazy.
Really interesting.
But
It's really dope.
My dog is going crazy, so I will be right back. I think she wants to go outside. I'll be right back.
No, see, like someone just said, "Hey, you were bullied a lot as a kid." Where'd you? I'd be like, "What? I'm sorry, what? What are you trying to imply?
Yeah.
What are you trying to imply, man?"
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And then he started asking where I was from. He's like, I see you in the booth. You're this pretty big guy, and yet I see you trying to take up as little space as possible. Are you from the Midwest? And I'm like,
Okay.
I'm from Illinois. I mean, he was spot on with that. So yeah, he was like a psychic, man. It was crazy.
Amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's fantastic.
That's actually really interesting.
Hopefully I get that good. I just be able to tell from just from looking at you just a little bit.
Yeah, it's
All
really,
right,
really
we're
interesting
good.
how people can, really tell so much about you based on, just a couple voice lines. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The whole story.
Impressive.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah, I left that audition feeling like not only did I get read like a psychic, right? Not only did I get that, but also he gave me some great advice for my career. And then above and beyond that, I'm like, man, he gave me some good advice for my life. Like that was like a therapy session.
It's crazy.
Let's
Wow.
see. There's another question here.
Isaac has another question.
For my last message, I feel like the presence of you, Sean, and Lindsay brought this. Oh, thank you. That's awesome. I've been blown away by Sean's work specifically. I haven't seen as much of Lindsay's. That's not to say that it's not there. I just haven't seen it. I'll have to be on the lookout for that because I loved her performance. But let's see. After you're done recording Kingdom,
Definitely, yeah.
do you plan on staying in the community? Oh, gotcha. Well, so that's another interesting thing for anyone who has never been involved in the film and TV industry before. We are done recording Kingdom already. We recorded all the dialogue last year.
Oh.
Wow.
So we recorded all 3 seasons worth of the show vocally. Exactly. That way the animators have something to kind of guide. You got it. The animated performance. So yeah, definitely still plan on staying in the community. I think this has been just an absolute dream come true. Like I said, I'm a huge sci-fi and comic book and science geek. So, I'm not going to lie and say I've been a diehard Transformers fan my whole life or anything like that. But as Clayton and I talked about the other day, for me, the one that got me hooked was Beast Wars and Beast Machines. I love that show. That was one of those where like,
We're awesome.
yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I watched Beast Wars
I
recently. That
love
ain't
being a
probably
part of the
funny.
community. I feel incredibly grateful, and of course, I plan on staying a part of it. Hopefully, there's more to come. Hopefully.
Exciting.
Okay. All right. All right.
I'm looking
I don't
Hey,
forward
think
to
Rod,
it.
I
but
can
one
answer
second.
this
Roger,
question. Go ahead.
click
Go
that
ahead.
comment off so we can see everyone at the bottom better.
Oh,
There you go. That's better.
Okay.
yeah, you
All
can.
right. I got this one question. I don't think you can answer it, but out of Kingdom, Earthrise, and Siege, which one do you personally think has the best story to it? Without giving it away, like what do you personally think, if you can?
Ooh.
I want him to spill Kingdom so much. I really do.
What's that?
I said I want you to spill Kingdom so much, man. I
Kingdom
want you to.
honestly has me like really intrigued. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my goodness.
I honestly
Man,
cannot wait. I cannot wait.
it's hard for me to say honestly. It's hard to like see them individually without seeing them just as the whole. You know what I mean? Like they kind of do just fit together like a puzzle. I'll be honest though, I'm kind of a sucker for the way stories start. I mean, like Fellowship of the Ring is my favorite Lord of the Rings movie. The first Star Wars is my favorite one. Like, the first Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean? Like I'm a big fan of like the starts, the beginnings of stories. So I'm gonna have to go with Siege.
That's really
Although I
interesting,
will
too.
say, even though Siege is my favorite story, there's some really cool geek out moments in Kingdom.
Oh, Roger. Derrick's done, bro. He's done. Had to give him a minute.
That's all I needed. I'll wait 100 years for that.
That's all he needed to know.
Yeah.
Or you need to
Yeah,
watch
I think you'll be
Beast Wars
happy.
and Beast Machines so you can understand some of the references better.
Yeah.
What's that?
Will.
I was telling Derrick he needs to
Yes,
watch
Derrick,
Beast
you
Wars and Beast
definitely.
Machines.
Oh
so you
yeah,
can
for
actually
sure.
understand the references better.
Yes,
For
man.
sure.
I gotta hit it. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Like when I said David
Roger
Tate was
needs to
going to be
watch
on the
Beast
show, Derek's like, yo, man, animated Optimus. Like, bro, yes, but it's Beast Boys Megatron. You know what I mean?
Beast
He's like,
Wars
I don't
Bro,
get
I
it,
was
bro.
about to bring that up. Like,
We're getting him to say yes,
bro.
and Autobots transform and roll out when he's on there, bro.
Oh, that's awesome.
Every
Oh, yeah,
time
100%,
Raj
yeah.
brings it up, I'm like, oh my god, I get to talk to Optimus Prime. He's like, no, this is Megatron. I'm like, no, this is Optimus Prime. He's like, no, dude, this is Megatron.
I'm like, yes, this is
Megatron. I'm
like
what?
animated Optimus was cool and all, but he is Beast Wars Megatron, Derek. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That voice is just something else, man. That just
Oh, I
amazes
know.
me.
I know.
Like one of our questions for him, I guess it's a preview, is we're gonna ask him what really inspired him to like just tone it like that, and just in general. Like I'm really
Oh
intrigued.
yeah, that's a good question.
Because I don't like, how do you just like come up with that, like with the yes and everything? Just like I don't understand.
Right.
It actually amazes me.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing about that too is like he doesn't say yes the same way every time. It's almost like Joker's laugh, where he's got a yes
true.
for every situation.
yeah. Sometimes they'll drag it on longer than others.
Raise the pitch a little bit. Yeah.
Exactly. And
That's
like
definitely
some people are like, it gets annoying, which every once in a while I can see how it would, but at the same time it's hilarious every time he does it.
Yeah.
And
Some of
then
them are
when
like
he
real
switches
short
it
and
to
sweet
no,
too.
too.
Like he almost sneaks it in like a nervous tick or something, right?
Yeah. And I like it when he switched it up a few times to no. Like he'd drag on no
I think it's pretty
sometimes. That was funny when he'd say no.
Yep. Let's see. Sorry, I saw a couple more questions here.
good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go for it.
No, I think you said
I'm
about
not even.
the
I was
chat.
saying we have questions. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'll be right back,
let's
guys. Give me a
see.
sec.
Isaac Weaver said, "Give us a spoiler from Earthrise and Kingdom, no
Yeah, I
context."
saw that.
Shoot, man, we want him to have a job. Thank you very much.
Right. Yeah, I would like to keep it.
Right.
Excited.
But
They made me do it.
would you like to like continue to voice as Transformers going forward? Like, is that something you'd like to do?
You mean just like within
Like,
the
just
franchise
like-
in general, like
Yeah,
other
just, like, in
characters, like
general,
what?
like in different shows, different movies, things of that nature.
Oh yeah. I would be thrilled to be able to play Prowl again for one, just because I think, especially going off of some of the stuff, and I'm by no means an expert on canon. You guys could probably take me to school on that stuff. But some of the synopses and kind of the Cliff Notes versions of stories that I've read about from the comics, I'm like, oh man, that'd be fun to dig into. So
Yeah.
I would love to play Prowl again and dig into some of that stuff. I honestly, like, there's so many good characters in this franchise. God, I'm blanking on his name now. He was like a wolf knight from Beast Wars. What's that character's name?
Silverbolt.
Yeah.
Silverbolt. Yeah, Silverbolt was something else.
I always dug him.
My
yeah.
back.
He's just chilling, bro. Yeah, there's so many like adaptations in the comics that need to be like actually hit in like like a film series or just like a show in general.
Yeah. I think some of the stuff that I read, and maybe you guys can correct me if I'm off base here, but some of the stuff I read about Prowl from the comics almost gives him. Have you guys kept up with X-Men at all? Are you guys fans of that at all?
Yes, I love it.
Kind of, yes.
Okay, so one of the more modern stories of X-Men, Cyclops kind of almost turns into a villain.
Yeah.
But then at the end, they're like, okay, no, he was right.
Right.
And I feel like Prowl kind of has that same vibe going in some of the comic stuff that I've read.
That is true.
He definitely, man. So what IDW, he definitely feels like he is a villain for like the longest time, and then like when he gets right into it, you're like, oh shoot. And man, Prowl has an interesting arc in the IDW.
Yeah,
he goes through a lot.
Well, and this is one of those things again where I got to give a ton of credit to Phil, our voice director, for nailing the casting. I think that part of Prowl, the kind of the way that he sees things just a little differently than everybody else, that resonates so deep with me, man. Like the more I learned about Prowl, the more I'm like, yeah, this is the right character for me. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
Well, shoot, I would love to cement you as the Peter Cullen of Prowl.
Oh man,
honestly,
100%.
That'd be perfect.
That would be incredible.
Oh man,
that would definitely be another dream come true, man.
That'd be fantastic for real. Oh, there goes another one for him. By Sean.
What's your favorite thing about acting as Prowl?
Oh yeah, good question. Yeah, I think that kind of ties in with what I was just talking about, just the depth that he's got. He's at the surface, it seems like maybe he's just cold or kind of cut off from his. I'll use the word humanity for lack of a better term, right? He's ultimately still a robot. Yeah. He's not a human, but yeah, he feels kind of disconnected from his humanity. Maybe. Well, I mean, hopefully there's no kids on the chat right now, but I mean, he didn't get the nickname Prickbot for nothing, right?
Exactly.
Very true.
So at face value, he does give off that vibe that just maybe he's not easy to get along with, or he's kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot to why that's the case. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier about it's not a justification for someone's actions, but it's an explanation for them. And I don't feel like Prowl trusts a lot of people.
Definitely.
So because of that, he relies so much on himself and his own strategic preparation and always planning for worst case scenarios to like a Batman level, right? Like,
right.
So he's always just assuming that everyone is going to screw him over and reacting kind of appropriately for that assumption. But then every once in a while he gets taught that everyone's not out to screw him over, and he's got to deal with that. That's fun to play with as an actor.
Definitely.
And it goes back to that Jetfire moment in episode 5, right? Like, he's convinced that Jetfire is just lying to them. He's going to screw him over. He's going to take him out to the Sea of Rust and get him killed.
Right.
And then once they make it through, and not only did Jetfire help them through, but he saved Prowl's life. Well, Prowl's got some apologizing to do.
Exactly. And that's the same thing with Mirage and Impactor too. I mean,
that's what saying. Like Siege really did so. Like there has never been a Transformers show to really, because with Transformers it's usually Autobots, Decepticons, and that's it. And with Siege is like Cybertronians, but just they call themselves different things, but they're literally
Right.
just the same thing with just like different viewpoints. Like they all started out thinking they were right. In the end, either you're a true me, or you're the true meaning of what an Autobot is supposed to be, which is something like Ultra Magnus, or you're the true meaning of what a Decepticon is supposed to be, which is something like Jetfire, because someone with honor and someone who wants to talk things out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's either you
Yeah.
are either on one of those spectrums, or you just become like Optimus Prime or Megatron, who are like far left extremes versions of both those archetypes.
Yeah, I thought that's something interesting they did with Bumblebee too, right? You've got Jetfire, who's kind of the gray area in terms of going back and forth between which group he associates with, and then you've got Bumblebee, who doesn't want anything to do with either of them. Like, how many times did you hear him say, "I'm not an Autobot," right? Like he's adamant.
Yeah.
He thinks they're both wrong. He
Just
doesn't
got their
want to be associated with
agendas.
either of them.
Just got their agendas, and that's all they care about.
Right? Yeah.
We got some
Yeah,
more
I
questions.
agree. What's that?
We got some more questions still popping up.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
What do we got?
What? That's cool.
What can we expect from Prowl and Earthrise? Sorry, my dog is crying at me right now.
It's all right.
He wants to say hi. Come here, bud. Come here.
Yes, dog time. Let's go.
Dog time.
And then he runs away.
Oh, wow.
Come here, Baron. Come here, buddy. Come here.
He
There
didn't
we
answer
go.
the call to action.
There we
Oh, look at him.
Oh, glorious.
That is
This
a nice
is Baron.
dog.
He is a
Clay, look at
schnauzer.
Hazel.
Oh,
Wow.
Lord. She's
He's a
outside. Just
little
put her
ham,
outside.
too.
Oh.
You know what? I'll go get Hazel.
Yes.
And
What can we expect from Prowl and Earthrise? Honestly, there's not much that I can say just because Earthrise is so under wraps. I wish I could answer that one, but I'm just gonna have to keep my lips completely sealed. Sorry. Sorry, Diamond Knight Pro. I wish I could say more. And then let's see, is it Matthias? The way the tone is set off in the show. Oh, thank you.
Matthias is really nice today.
he's really nice today. Oh my goodness.
Let's see what else. Isaac had asked earlier. Let's see, what did you base your voice performance as Prowl off of? Boy, that's. I guess just trying to keep in mind that he is kind of untrusting of everyone. I kind of operated under the assumption that he always thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. And a lot of the time he is, but not always. And so I think he's got like a really a short fuse for what he sees as naivety or stupidity. He doesn't tolerate that.
That makes sense.
So I just kind of wanted him to always, not always, but often sound like he's got a chip on his shoulder,
Hazel.
right?
There's Hazel.
Oh,
She's terrified.
adorable.
Oh, go play now. She was not coming to me, man. Like she like jumped on my bed to get away from me. Like she was not having it.
Oh, that's too funny.
She wasn't having it today.
Michael though, the cat. I don't even know where she's at. She's probably in the house somewhere.
Oh, thanks, Allspark.
Yeah, he definitely has the most friendly smile I've seen in like a long time.
That is true.
Like, goodness gracious.
Oh man, you guys are making me blush.
Oh, man.
But yeah, hopefully that answered your question, Isaac. I'm not sure if you were looking for kind of like the character motivation behind it, or like how I came up with the sound of it. But yeah, the sound of it was basically just, what do I sound like when I get mad? What do I sound like when I'm crabby? And so it gets a little gruffer, a little shorter, and it's a little bit more. Hey, why is everyone doing this? Like that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So yeah, as you can hear, I don't sound too incredibly different from that most of the time anyway. It's just that little bit of grit is like, frustrated.
He sounds like
So
a
just trying to get that
Transformers
going.
character.
Dude, I like how he just seamlessly slips into it, too. Like,
That's really
it
dope.
sounds like one. Oh my god, that reminds me of Dion so much. It's like, why is it doing this? Goodness gracious, that's perfect. That is perfect.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Jeez, man. We're talking
Yes.
voice actors, bro. This is epic.
insane.
It's like you guys are like you submitted yourself into the legacy of Transformers, and Transformers means so much to me, Raj and Clay, and it's very important. And the fact that you play a part in it, and that you have taken the time to talk to us, is very honorable for us. Like,
Exactly.
come on, man.
Yeah, we're really
just
honored to have
listen
you on.
to
It's
in a show.
great.
Like, we literally just listen to your voice, and here you are talking with us. Like, come on, man.
It's
Man, I appreciate that. Like that means a lot. And
you guys
I
diving into
guess
the community is insane too, to be honest.
what's that?
You guys like diving into the community the way you guys are. Like most voice actors don't do that. It's like just this show. It seems like really that they've been doing that, and it's awesome. It really is.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that what do you call it? The voice actors are being active in the community. It's like you talk to them, and realize like, holy shit, they're regular people just like me. But he's Prowl, he's Mirage.
It's not like some distant figure like you'll never talk to. Like you're actually talking to them. And it's like, okay, wow.
Oh yeah, that's been one of my favorite things about it too, to be honest with you. And I guess that's kind of how I've always been, just coming from kind of like a blue collar background. Like I don't ever want to treat someone in a way where they think that I don't see them as an equal, whether that be a coworker or a friend or family member. I like my dad worked in manufacturing and my mom was a lunch lady. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I'm coming from to use Megatron's word, I'm not an elitist like the Autobots, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I've seen kind of the stigmatization of how that can be, that some people think they're better than other people, and that's like a pet peeve of mine. Going back to how I relate to Prowl, I get a little prickly when people do that, when they act like they're better than other people. So yeah, at the end of the day, is my job unique in the sense that other people watch me do it or listen to me do it? Sure, but it's still just a job at the end of the day. There's nothing that what me and Sean and Lindsay do, there's nothing that we do that makes us any more special than the person who makes your food or the person working behind the register at the gas station or whatever it is that you guys do. Like, we're all just people trying to do what we like and make enough money to get by.
Exactly.
Yeah, like when I talked to you the other day, when I hit you up, I was on a call with Clay. I was like, should I hit him up and talk about it? He's like, yeah, he's a cool dude. And I was talking to you like, yeah, my dog went ape shit. I'm like, yeah, it's like, what? I say stuff like that too.
Exactly. He started dying laughing on that call. It's like, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
I used to just good stuff. Because like we look at people like maybe Michael Bay, Peter Cullen, like we think of them as people we can't even ever think of, but then we see
like gods almost, in a way.
We see fan favorites right in front of us talking to us, and it's like holy crap, that's dope.
Exactly.
Like, goodness gracious, man.
You guys are really busy too, and the fact that like we said before, you guys take your time out to really talk to us is crazy. Like, I mean, you got an audition really awesome. In the morning. You got to do. It's like, wow.
And good luck with that. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's you guys talked about being glad to have me here, and I feel the exact opposite way about it. Like, I'm glad that you guys wanted me here. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't have the opportunity to do what we love, which is to give a voice and a personality to these characters that we love so much. We don't have that opportunity without the fan base that you guys talked about, right? Like,
that's true.
The show exists for the fans. So like I said, I feel the opposite. I feel like I'm the lucky one. Like, thanks for having me on here, guys.
Yeah, we really appreciate
no problem. Like, it goes both ways.
It honestly does. And like that's one thing I know you guys.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, one thing I like piggybacking off what you said. I appreciate that Siege gave a spotlight to characters we don't really see much. You know what I mean? Like,
definitely.
I remember the last time I've seen a G1. Like, I remember Animated was the last time we saw Prowl. But like, I enjoyed Prowl a lot because I don't see him a lot. You know what I mean? Same with Mirage, Alita 1.
people like that. Like,
Yeah.
you don't see those figures, like those characters a lot.
Yeah.
And that they got a spotlight. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, Siege really brought up all the underrated characters back into the spotlight. Like, come on. When's the last
I like
time you
Major.
saw Prowl, Chromia, any of them do anything?
Moonracer, even if for a little bit. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
Oh man. You know what's wild? My brother thinks the Moonracer scene was hilarious, man. It's heartbreaking to me.
I thought it was Chromia, like for the first few seconds, and then the Optimus yelled Moonracer. I'm like, whoa.
That reminded me how dark the show was. I was like, oh my goodness, she's just getting torn apart. What is happening right now?
Yeah. That was my reaction to it. I was surprised at how dark it got, just because like I know they're going for, the show is intended for kind of a more mature audience than maybe some past Transformers shows. But when they literally just start ripping her limbs off, I'm like, oh, we're going that mature. Okay.
I mean, at the beginning, Starscream just casually gets his arm cut off. I'm like, okay.
Like, oh, okay, dude.
Elite One blasts a head off. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Then we have like bots being hung up on spikes and everything.
Yeah. They're impaled, just sitting around. I'm like,
yeah,
wow.
that took me aback. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's actually like that's relating to earlier on too, like what we were talking about with like that's like a lot of the reason why, like we were talking about the factions, why Jetfire and them, they started turning it away. It's because things like that, it's unnecessary. And like all the Decepticons had to do was ensure that Cybertron was liberated and everyone was equal. That's what the basis of the Foundation started off. That's why people joined them. But then with Megatron, as time went on, it took a turn. He started, going to any length possible, which, eventually that gets bad to a point where, like, you're seeing your enemies, like, just desecrate, like, their bodies and everything, just hanging on spikes and everything. It's like, it really starts like, okay, this has gone too far, It
really adds to the whole tone of the show, which, it was a bit, I was like, oh, crap, those are Autobots. But, like, it's really, it's like, make you think like this is some serious stuff right here.
It's changed. It's not like what they originally signed up for and everything. That's like with TFP too, with like why Dreadwing helped the Autobots and everything. That's because it's the Decepticon cause isn't what it was anymore. It's what Megatron's thing now, and it took a turn.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I think again going to some real life parallels. I think we're seeing some of that happening.
Exactly.
Too, right?
Exactly.
Right.
I feel that.
Oh man.
We'll leave it a little vague, but I think everyone knows.
My cat just came up to me and like whacked the back of my leg. That scared me. She just randomly attacks me for no reason.
Yeah. Oh man.
I would show her to you, but because Roger's best friends with Michael, that's the cat's name, but she just took off.
Okay.
So basically, the reason why it's a female, her name's Michael, is because we got her at a very young age and we couldn't tell what she was, and then she started answering to the name Michael, and we didn't want to change her name once we realized what she was. Crap, so we just left it at that.
I've known a few people with cats like that, where it's like a male cat with a girl name or vice versa, just because they didn't know.
Exactly. It's just like there's no sense of just changing their names. It's like whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, Michael's the queen of that house. Isaac has a question for you too, Aaron.
Sure.
Do you have a job besides voice acting?
Oh, gotcha. So yeah, actually, that's I haven't been back since the pandemic shutdown started, but I was working at a Samsung store as a cell phone service technician.
Oh, it's dope.
Yeah,
awesome.
so working there on the weekends and doing auditions during the week, and hoping to get something to where I don't have to have two jobs anymore.
Making it in that business is really hard. Like you just got to do what you got to do, to make sure like you have that extra money to really slip by just in case, because it's really unreliable, in a way, like with acting and everything, things fall through all the time. So you really have to make sure you have, a buffer there just in case,
Right.
You can't just rely on that until, you get the stableness and the platform that you need like later on.
Exactly. Yeah, I forget the actor's name, but he was on I want to say it was I can't remember. Was it the Cosby Show? I can't remember, but he was seen working at a Trader Joe's. This was like within the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And there was like a lot of trash talk about, here's this actor he's got to work at Trader, and it's like,
That's so dumb.
If they knew actually how
yeah.
hard it was to get by in that business, they wouldn't complain about it or like, make fun of them. I mean, it takes so much dedication and hard work. It's crazy. I mean, you have to have a good mentality because, you can't like just take offense to it if you don't get a role, because it's, there's so many people going for the same thing. So you have to just pick yourself up and go for something else and just keep at it.
And the thing about it is, it's unlike a lot of other industries. There are no guarantees. So this is some advice for anybody who's thinking about getting into acting or directing or writing or anything related to the entertainment industry. There are no guarantees. It's not the kind of career where you can bank on momentum, right?
Yeah.
I've known people that were series regulars on TV shows where they were on the show for 3-4 seasons, and then they don't work again for 6-7 years.
Exactly. Big time gaps with everything, waiting for that next project to take off or hit you and everything. And yeah, you got to have a good mentality and you just got to keep at it. You can't.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like tough to get your foot in the door, but everyone on the internet wants to have their own opinions, think they know everything, which in reality, like, people don't really know how hard it is. You know what I mean?
Like what you told me, Aaron, like, you get random calls all the time, but you have to take them, make sure, because that's always an opportunity for you and everything.
Yeah. I don't have the luxury of seeing a number I don't recognize and just letting it go to voicemail.
Exactly. You got to be like, okay, so, this could be, something for my future, and just, you got to let it go.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I want to break into being not an actor, a director and a writer as well in the film industry. So hearing all this is like,
I want to be like an actor / like or a voice actor, and then if anything, eventually get to like actual film directing eventually too. It's always intrigued me a lot.
Yeah, it's like I was telling you when we were chatting the other day too, man. Like, yeah, it's an important career, and you got to have a passion for it. It can't be one of those things where you want to do it because you want to be famous or you want money. You got to be in it for the right reasons, and it definitely sounds like you guys are, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
So can't wait to see what you guys make.
Yeah, both of my boys here both my boys here, very talented. They both have the capacity to do well. So I feel like a proud uncle. Like I'm banking on them.
His name's Uncle Raj, bro, on Instagram.
I'm sorry, it cut out a little bit there. I didn't catch some of that.
I was saying both of my boys here, they're very talented, very smart guys. I'm sure they'll succeed. I'm banking on them. I believe in you guys.
He's the proud uncle, Uncle Raj.
That's great, man. You got to have the uncle friend in the group, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't wait to make some of my films. It's definitely gonna be something interesting. I can't wait to do some of the things I want to do. Is just, I think the biggest thing about directing is just telling a story. And I like storytelling. I like telling stories with the camera. I like telling stories about people. And I like telling stories that I can relate to personally, because if I can't relate to it, then how can I expect somebody else to relate to it?
Exactly.
Right.
So that kind of thing, and being a writer myself, is like that kind of stuff just pushes me. I really want to do that. I want to be able to tell stories to the world, tell my story, and in turn tell a lot of other people's stories to the world. So that's my main goal right here.
With me, it's basically the same thing as Derrick, except like a little bit of a piggyback type thing. Is another thing with me is, if I can make someone's day or make them think slightly differently about something or see another side, then that's always just amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. That's kind of the dream as a storyteller, is to open someone's mind or open their eyes to something that they wouldn't have thought about otherwise, right?
Exactly.
Clay's done it for me before. Like, I previously didn't know anything about the aligned continuity of Transformers. That he explained it to me really well. I'm like, whoa, this is actually amazing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's stuff like that. It just gives you a change of mind.
Don't ever get him started, because he'll never stop.
He won't.
Hey, Derrick, you haven't sat for hours with me before yet.
I'm not even brave enough for it.
He's not brave enough.
Bro, you haven't put the time in like I have, bro. All right,
No,
you don't know about that.
Derrick puts in the grind.
But I can hear people saying, "Oh, I don't like going to war zones," and be like, "Oh yeah, I understand completely. I'm never gonna do that. Yep, I'm just gonna stay over here. I'm gonna let Raj take the bullet from me. He's a pretty brave guy.
I'll educate you. Don't worry."
Well, if I ever have anything Transformers related that I need some research for, I'll know who to hit up.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, yeah, Clay's just, he's the database on this.
I don't even know how I remember it half the time. Like, it just stays there, and it's like, okay.
Make sure the rest of your week is free because he's gonna keep you on that call for a long time.
Well, see, Minor Rogers' thing is he's like, and when he's driving home from like the doctor and all that kind of stuff, I'm always just, he's like, all right, you want to get on a call? I'm like, yep, I got a few things to say.
Yeah, it's great. Like I'll be hearing my blinker on trying to switch lanes while he's talking to me about like Zeta Prime or something. I'm like, oh, whoa, that's great. It's always a good time. Matthias asks,
I've got subjects I'm like that too with, man. I feel you. They're giving you a hard time, but I feel you, man.
I love it. I love to just sit there, you know, like and just teach them new things about it and everything. It's fun.
Yeah.
And all that. I just keep going on about it. And like another thing is it helps me because I'll sit there and have it all in my head and I'll sit there and keep replaying it. So like actually speaking it out loud and everything, it helps a lot and just like kind of clear my mind.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. They always say if you want to learn something really well, you got to teach it to someone else.
That's definitely, yeah. It always works.
I've learned even more about it.
He cut up for you guys too?
He's frozen. Yeah, all I see is this.
Oh. Yeah, I see that.
Hey, that's the ultimate image.
Oh, there he is. You back?
I don't know. My thing just like disconnected for a second.
You were just a glitch in the matrix for that 1 second.
All right, fellas. Well, I hate to cut it short. I'm gonna have to go here in like the next couple of minutes. But if you guys have any other questions before I head out.
Oh yeah.
I think we asked a lot of them, honestly.
Yeah, we definitely did.
We got a lot done.
Honestly.
But
yeah, you're like fantastic this entire time. Like, you
honestly, thank you so much for getting on with us.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, any time, man. This was a lot of fun. So,
it's reaching out so bad.
Thanks again for having me on. This was a blast chatting with you guys. And again, I appreciate you and everybody in the comments and just Transformers community in general for supporting the show and welcoming me and everyone with open arms. It's been a ton of fun interacting with everybody. Feel free to find me on Instagram. It's at Aaron M. Veach.
His Instagram will be in the description, guys, so definitely hit him with a follow.
Yeah. And I'm like Sean too. I try to respond to everyone. I don't always have the time, but I do my best.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. Glitched out there, bro.
It just keeps happening, man. That's why it switched Wi-Fi connections. It went to my hotspot for some reason. I don't know. Just randomly would connect to it. I don't know why.
Technology, man, they getting you.
It's coming after me, man.
But yeah, thank you so much.
But yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that. It's been a great time. I had a great time.
Awesome.
One thing, after Earthrise, we're planning on having Sean and Alita on like a crossover episode. We're all like, we want to try to get like the voice actors on after Siege again,
that'd be cool.
After Earthrise, and kind of like like post thoughts and everything. So if you want to do that, that'd be fun.
Yeah, hit me up, man. That sounds like a ton of fun.
Help us actually stuff and
I've chatted with Sean. I was on his Transformers trivia show with his contestant Dale the other last week. But I've actually never gotten the chance to chat with Lindsay, so that'd be cool. I'd love to tell her what a big fan I am of her work.
Definitely, that'd be cool.
It's crazy. Like we all are in the show together, and so many of us have never met. So
that's crazy.
That'd be cool.
That's really interesting. Yeah, we have her on the show too. I think November 12th, 15th. Yes, 15th.
Yeah, 15th, and David K. 12th, I think.
Yeah, K is the 12th.
Oh, that's cool.
Thought so.
3 years apart, so we have to promo the hell out of that. But
yeah,
honestly,
it's gonna be busy.
Awesome. Well, hit me up, guys.
Yeah, definitely. And, appreciate it.
Thanks again for having me on. This was a lot of fun. Good luck with your scripts and films that you're working on. And I'll keep my eyes peeled for which guests you have on next. Maybe I'll be here in the chat as a guest next time, or as a viewer.
David K. Like I said, I'm gonna mention you to him and everything on how you're a big fan.
Definitely,
on the David K
that's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, huge fan. So.
But yeah,
all right, guys. Well, thanks a lot. Good chatting with you.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Have a good night. Bye, everybody.
You too. See ya.
Good night, my man. And boom, that was great.
That was fantastic.
That went really dope.
That was awesome.
I love that. This is probably my favorite episode.
So zoomed in now.
Probably my favorite episode so far.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was
the best one. That was the best one.
Because last one was kind of bland for me, but like, this dude's cool as fuck.
Yeah,
that's facts.
Dang.
I told you guys, bro.
Dang, man. He like said so much about Siege that like I didn't even think of before. Like, dang, man, he really brightened up that show a lot.
Maybe those parallels to the real life. I'm like, holy shit! Like, bro, I'm literally sitting here eating my Takis, enjoying myself, bro. This is dope.
Exactly. Not a single moment was left out. Everybody was included. It was definitely.
It was really dope. Yeah. Sorry again for being late. I had my allergies almost passed the fuck out.
Yo, Derrick, I called him on Snapchat. I thought that was the last thing I tried after I called him like 200 times on Instagram. I was like, Snapchat, because that makes the most obnoxious ringtone sounds. And then he immediately answered, he goes, what? I'm like, yo, dude, it's 8:40. I was like, get on. He goes, oh my God. He goes, let's start it now.
He said, "Oh my goodness!" So Snapchat was a reason. Snapchat saves day. Shout out to Snapchat, guys. Shout out.
Yeah, like I don't have my Instagram notification on. My Snapchat, it was buzzing like shit. Cause like I don't know, there's a way you could set your own like vibration pattern. So it was like, doo, 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 doo. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Like, why have you awakened me, bro? What's wrong with you?
Honestly, man. Then when we're in here, I see the chat. You're like, "Fuck you!" I'm like, I die, bro, die.
Wait, did you know he was in there the whole time?
No, I mean, I saw on Instagram. I didn't see him till like as soon as I saw him, I was like, all right, fucking, let's go.
Dude, so what happened was I was talking to a friend, right, and I was telling him like, "Yo, Raj, I'm supposed to be doing a podcast. I love you to be on and see it." And he was like, "Okay, are you guys doing it yet?" And I'm like, "Nah, bro. Raj ain't here. I hope last time I heard him, he was driving. I hope he ain't dead now, because if he's dead, I'm gonna kill his ass." Like I was like, God dang, man, where he at, bro? Where he at?
It's facts, bro. I was so worried. I was like, no. And Aaron was texting me and everything. He's like, yo, we still on? I'm like, I hope so. I was like, we lost Roger. He goes, I was like, if anything, we got to postpone a little bit. He goes, I can postpone about, maybe like extra like half hour. He goes, but then I got this audition in the morning. I'm like, all right, bro. I was like, I'll let you know. And as soon as he texted, how long are we going to give him? I just see Roger answered my Snapchat, and I was like, we got him.
Oh yeah, I was fucked up. Yeah, I didn't expect one pill to be that fucking strong.
Knock him out. Like I could just basically hear you just snoring, and I'm like, this motherfucker won't answer me, bro.
Dang, man.
I didn't know your Instagram notifications were all the way off, bro. You turn mine on and Derrick's on for calls.
Facts, honestly,
ringing, bro.
There's a way I can do that.
I don't have on. I don't have on notifications because I get a lot, because I'm like 1,000 different chats. So like I get a lot, so I just turn them off.
Yeah, same. Like what do you call it?
I keep chats turned off, and then like I just have like actual DMs turned on.
Oh, really?
Because I like to try to get back to DMs as fast as possible, especially now with the show going on. A lot of people have been DMing me about it, and I'm like, I need to get to them as quick as possible.
Yo, fucking Biden's winning the electoral thing right now. I went out and I saw.
I'm scared, bro. No, I've been checking it. Like I literally wrote out every single state on this notebook earlier, and like how many electoral votes they give, and who currently has which states. And dude, I'm tweaking. Like there's so many like big battleground states that are so close. Like they're literally like a 0.1% apart, and it's like holy shit.
Dude, this is my favorite anime ever, dude. Oh my god, it's tense. It's fucking tense,
dude.
Derrick, Derrick, I just saw your DM, and I don't mean that whole thing. I mean like just in general. If Trump doesn't win, I feel like racist white dudes is gonna just go fucking brazy and like try to attack gays, people of color, shit like that. You know what I mean?
I think either way it swings, we're gonna have like riots and everything.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that usually
no matter
happens
what.
around, like, which I can handle myself, but I'm more afraid for my mom when she goes for groceries and shit.
I'm afraid for my grandma and everything.
Yeah, like what do you call it? Me and Rajiv, one of us gonna have to go with her to groceries for now. So I'm afraid for her. I'm afraid for Rajiv too, because he goes to school.
Everything is gonna go complete shit. Like I know it. No matter what, it's gonna get bad.
Yeah, man, we can't win, bro. We have two terrible candidates anyway, so.
Two terrible candidates, but even Roger demonstrated when he voted today. Like, well, there's one that's like obviously better, but not by a long shot. And yeah,
let's not get political here now.
Isaac's out here, y'all Biden or Trump, bro.
I'm not doing any of it. I'm not voting for any of them crazy people. Hell no. Y'all got me.
No, it's more of like the supporters of Biden that annoy me, because I mean they're just hypocrites straight up, and it annoys the shit out of me to no end.
I mean, I just don't like when people say, "Oh yeah, Wait, we can't get political on this thing, bro.
Okay, you know what? We might have to end the lot. No, let's just put a slash like political little interval at the end since it's election day. You know, we got like let's just say it's a little it's a one-time thing.
Bro, TF Pick, speak your facts, bro. Kanye 2020, bro.
Yeah,
Kanye
bro.
2020.
Honestly, bro, if I did vote, I'd vote for Kanye.
Get me in office though. Like actually, get me in office.
That just be it. Because for me, like both of them candidates, just they not hitting for me. You know what I'm saying?
Neither one of them are good, but like I said, I think one's better than the other.
I don't believe one is better than either. All right, it's either nah. Because like I was talking to this dude online, and he said, well, Biden is less racist than Trump, and I said, there's no such thing as less racist. Either you racist or
you're just racist or you're not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like telling me.
There's plenty of evidence he's racist. Just looking at the past and everything he's done in the past. I mean,
Dude, nah, man. It's not.
What annoys me about the Democrats is just the fact that like they've switched, like they were more like that's why they're much more popular, is because they've always been for the working people. But now, just because of what's going on in the world now, they've switched they went completely off rails from what they used to be, and now they're just like going after what everyone's complaining about now, just so that they can get in. Because they used to never care about any of that. Like they literally used to never talk about that, but now all of a sudden, woo, let's go.
Oh shit! Looks like Biden probably about to win this thing anyway.
I'm pretty interested in seeing how this goes down.
He's probably about to win this one.
JC44 said it's going to be like Chicago invasion, Dark of the Moon if Biden wins. That's facts, dude. This is my main thing. It's not even as much about Biden, but this is what I feel is going to happen if Biden gets in. It's going to be that like the one thing I like about Trump is that like one, of course he's brutally honest, but then the main thing is that at least other countries don't try to walk all over us. I feel like if Biden gets in, I feel like every country is just going to take advantage of us.
No freaking cap, bro.
I know that's going to happen.
Because Trump, he's too much of a business.
He commands the respect. Like he straight up commands respect.
He will command his respect. He will get.
But then Biden's going to be out here. They're going to be sitting there like, what's your response if you knew? Because he's going to be like, I'm still running for senator. What do you mean? And like shit like that. Like it's just I'm really afraid of what's going to happen if he gets in. Like I'm actually afraid because
Matthias does say this, but at the same time, your vote doesn't matter. So I mean, it's not really a matter of wasting votes. Like this proves my point.
It's just popular vote. Popular vote does not matter.
2016 proved my point where Hillary won the popular vote, but we got
she won by 3 million votes in the popular vote, and he still won. It's just the electoral college at the end. That's all that matters. Electoral college. Whatever the governor of that state decides, that goes to electoral college. That's it. Right. It's whatever the state governor thinks, like, whatever his choice is, basically when he decides, this state is for that candidate, whatever he decides, he's like completely basing that. It's not even off of his own beliefs. It's just off of what's going to get him reelected.
And besides, Matthias, like, to really end up out of what you're saying right now, like, with presidents, you're going to get the same shit whether you vote Trump or Biden.
Nothing's going to change.
That's just purely, like, I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but if you research presidents, bro, many of these people are freaking related. Like,
yeah, that's fact. There's a lot of them that are related.
Like, literally related. Like, Trump, Hillary, they got, like, he's like her second cousin, twice removed or something. Like, they all related, bro. Obama is related, like, Bush. Like, it's
literally a monarchy. Like, exactly. When the founding fathers wrote the Declaration and, the Constitution, all that, it was meant to, we're supposed to have democracy. It's going to separate us from a monarchy and everything with a kingly kings and everything. But if you think about it, it's been basically a royal bloodline as president because they've all basically been related.
Exactly.
And so, the U.S. is literally like the entire system right now is unconstitutional, but the Supreme Court will not call out on it.
Right, man. So it don't honestly, bro. If you want things to change, get yourself actually no, go to Mars. There you go. Start your own little government. All right, because this is it, bro.
Because everyone is literally sitting there saying, like, I see that all the time. Everyone's stories that is supporting Biden. They're like, we get Biden in, everything. It's gonna be everyone's gonna unite everything. It's not. It's gonna stay the same, if not get worse. Because, like I said, everyone's gonna walk all over us. It's only gonna get worse.
Like, that's why I think when they were voting Obama in, remember, like they were like, guys, once Obama gets in, everything's gonna change.
It didn't.
Wait, I'm looking for it. I'm still looking for it.
I mean, at least when Trump got in, at least like, even though yes,
It
there's
did
so many
something.
there's so many faults about him. At least he kept the
He
economy
kept
up.
his promises,
Like he
bro.
kept like his numbers of the economy have been some of the biggest the U.S. has ever seen, and I'll give him that. He's a businessman. He does it good.
Right. Go ahead, Raj. What were you saying?
At least we're not poor and like all starving and everything from an economic depression, which is going to happen if he does get in.
Right. Go ahead, Raj.
Like I'm saying, and this is what I think about like the whole Black Lives Matter protest too. Like, bitching and moaning behind the screen isn't gonna do shit. If you want change, you go into the office and you make that change happen. You know what I mean? Same thing with the
Gotta
president.
get your voice out there.
Biden and Trump, they're not gonna do what you want. You gotta go do it yourself. That's how the whole world works. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like going and protesting, lighting your whole city on fire. It's not gonna really change anything. But it's the minority people. Like, if you really think Black Lives Matter, the black people need to get into the office and work their way up the chain, which they're not doing. Which they're honestly not doing.
They're not like there's only so many that even make an effort for it. Of course, they get overshadowed, but like more of them got to start going for it. Like with the Black Lives Matter movement, yes, that's a good thing. They need to get the voice out there. But then, I mean, you got everyone like so many that piggyback off of that by like Antifa and all that, thinking it's right to start burning everything down and everything. Burning stuff down and destroying property doesn't make a change. It just pisses the government off more. So then they're like, we're not going to give them their way, and that's just it just hurts the movement itself.
When you look at Black Lives Matter riots to begin with, like if you actually look at it, it's not even like Black Lives Matter people rioting. It's literally people taking that narrative and then running with
And
it.
just
So,
all the high school girls that just like they talk they post on their stories Black Lives Matter and all that just they can get a little bit more popularity and shit.
that's
Just
literally basically it. Like the
Yeah.
riots that are happening, it's just like people who are like, "Oh yeah, Black Lives do matter. Let's."
I can make
destroy
a
everything."
profit off of what's happening by breaking into a damn building or store and making money off of it. Like they're just making money off the movement itself.
Right. So it's literally just like it's literally like people being sheep. You know what I'm saying? There's some people like, oh well, protests and riots are the best way to get our voices heard. And I'm like, what are you, stupid? That's not what happens. That's not what's happening right now, bro. You're making yourself look stupid right now.
Exactly.
Especially if you support these riots, like. Yeah,
And there's the whole cancel culture behind it too. If you don't support their riots, everyone hates you.
Yeah, like that's a good point, Roger. Because then like you bang off that other statement with like with the hypocrites of Biden supporters, how there's that thing with Chris Pratt going around, how just because he hasn't come out and explicitly said, I support Biden, he's apparently like therefore, without any context, therefore a white supremacist, racist, horrible human being. And it's like, how like you don't know what's actually going on in their minds, why they support that person more than the other. That's with me. I don't like just him in general, but the only thing, like the reason why I support him more than Biden is just for the fact that at least he keeps he keeps the border safe. I mean, at least the economy keeps running and everything like that. But I mean, so I don't understand how if you support him, you're automatically like a complete horrible person, white supremacist. But then they need to consider that can go both ways. So if you support Biden, then apparently you're automatically, I mean, I guess they're pedophiles or something. I mean, does that go both ways? But, if you say that, you're going to get canceled.
Like I've seen all day on Snapchat, just a bunch of high school kids going, "Oh, fuck Biden, fuck Biden." I mean, no, fuck
Sure,
Trump, fuck Trump.
Yeah, I was gonna say fuck Trump. Yeah, and it's like
you're getting attacked for voting who you believe in, which I think is fucking bullshit.
I personally I see a bunch of girls also saying, if you support Trump, then automatically just unadd me. I want nothing to do with you. It's like what?
I mentioned that on my story. Like, you sound fucking stupid. Don't ever talk to me again, bro.
First of all,
yeah, like
fuck
what?
On my face, bro. There's been so many people saying, "Oh my God, if you're black, you can't vote for Trump." You got white niggas saying, "Oh, if you're black, you can't vote for Trump." Nigga, who the fuck are you?
Let them do what they want. Obviously, he's racist. Well, I mean, obviously they don't see it that way. Like if they're going to support him, and even if they do, I mean, they know obviously he's better. So like who cares? It's what they think. Like, I just, I really hate it so much.
I hate society. That's the thing. Society just fucking pisses me off sometimes.
Society, like humanity, honestly, is just like, I don't even understand like what it's evolved to. It's just, it really hurts. It really does.
Everyone, shout out Energon Seeker. He woke up early today. Chill out with us. Cool. The Bible itself is unfolding. Oh, well, that's interesting. The end is near, Shantina says.
He's stupid as hell, right? I feel like something about to happen, bro. Something about to happen, man.
Yeah, definitely something's gonna happen, and I'm honestly kind of nervous.
Yeah, man, because the humanity has gone from bad to worse to even like what the fuck, bro? Like, goddamn, like China is freaking slaughtering people.
There's a whole ass dude. There's a whole ass fucking Holocaust 2 going on. The fucking Holocaust sequel.
It never gets any coverage though. Like not proper coverage.
It's fucking insane.
Any good news, that never get the media at this point just needs to get abolished completely. I hate the media. You cannot the people that go on TikTok, they see like political TikToks. I think that's the Bible. They go on Facebook, think that's the Bible. They see
high school kids,
news, high school kids. It's like, I mean, you really can't trust anything you see, because everyone has their biases. CNN, they say they're not biased. I mean, they're liberal, straight up. Like they're biased to liberal. Like they're just
my parents watch CNN all the time, and like back when Corona was like a lot bigger. Like CNN had this whole Corona section, and like the guy spent more time bashing Trump than talking about Corona, which blew my mind.
I just want a solid media source that's not biased and just drops us all the facts, but it's all just for their agendas.
That's how you gotta do your own research and shit these days. So you really can't trust anybody.
The media is awful. I really
it's honestly just terrible. I'm just interested to see how this whole election turns out.
It's funny because like with Trump, right? What a lot of people do is they say that that he's part of the KKK, white supremacist. He has more footage of him saying he's against the KKK. He like literally tells the same news reporter twice in 4 years he's against the KKK. You know I'm saying?
They still ask him. They still ask him over and over. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Let's take that out of context.
They keep doing it, bro. They keep doing it. I'm saying
the media is very anti-Trump.
And then they're just all liberal. I mean, just like Hollywood, Hollywood is all liberal. I mean, and a lot of them probably don't even believe in liberal ideals. They're only liberal because they know if they say anything against the Democrats in general, they're just going to get canceled and they're going to lose.
Yeah. You don't want that to happen, you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's why, I feel bad for Chris Pratt because, he didn't say anything. He never once came out and said anything. And then,
he's a really down-to-earth and really nice guy. I hate that this happened.
He's attended an anti-gay church all his life. Typically when you get brought up, in your life and that's all I mean, for family tradition, no matter what it is, because, you're little, you don't understand it. But you keep going to it because that's all you know. That's like your tradition. But then, oh my God, anti-gay. So that must mean he supports Trump. He's a racist. And I'm just like, what? People amaze me. Twitter needs to be abolished. The media needs to be abolished.
Twitter is a genuine shithole. Twitter
is awful. I've never seen a worse platform with that.
Definitely.
Instagram can be bad, but Twitter is just, you got those Karens and everything that just sit there actively going through old, big famous people's feeds and digging up that stuff from their past just so they can have something to make go viral so they can try to ruin that person's life because they actually work for what they have.
Yeah.
And, they're just salty because, they couldn't get anywhere because they're too lazy. They just sit around on their ass all the time. I mean, just how it is.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
I really hate this world. I really do. There's no pride in actually being a human being anymore.
It's that's why I go to collecting these figures and shit. It's it takes my mind off of just being alive.
That's why I play so many video games, bro. It's why I always play Siege and all that.
That's literally why I started getting back into Transformers. When Raj added me to that chat, it was me because when he added me to the Fanboy Butt chat, I was really depressed. You know what I'm saying? He added me to the chat, started getting back into Transformers. I feel good about my life again. You know what I'm saying? So it's I need Transformers to be that escape because.
And then you see how toxic the community is, and it's just really disheartening. I mean,
honestly, literally Transformers. You guys are kind of my escape. I make good ass friends on Instagram. I got people to talk to at least.
Literally, what I do now on Instagram is I talk to people that DM me, and then I usually I won't read a lot of the group chats unless it's the ones I made for my stuff, and then I will literally have your guys post notifications, and then also of course phone notifications turn on, and so I'll like your posts, share them and everything, get all hyped about that, but I will not sit there and scroll through everything because I just get put in a bad mood every time by what people say and just the attitudes of people.
That's why I don't use Reddit anymore. Because Reddit,
bad. Yeah, I've never once used Reddit, and that's why. I thought about it. One of my homies, he probably told me the best advice ever. He said, stay away from it. He goes, you think all the other social media is bad. He goes, this place, and just like Twitter, is the worst place you could possibly go.
like I used to use Reddit a lot. That's how I got like back into Transformers and shit. And like more and more as I go on, I'll go like the Explore page. It just pisses me off every day. And like
social media is the death of this like entire world.
And I would get into like arguments and shit, just ruin my whole ass day. That's the same thing, like you said. That's why I don't scroll through and like Explore page on Instagram anymore. Because like I get into fucking like I'm the type of guy to get into arguments left and right. It just bothers me the whole fucking day. So I'm like, I might as well just avoid this shit.
Yeah.
So I just only reason I even use Reddit these days is to like sell my figures when I need to. Like I honestly just avoid Reddit.
Exactly.
Same thing with Twitter. That's why it took so long for me to get back to David K. Because I don't even use Twitter. Because Twitter just fucking sucks.
Exactly. Like it's Sunny, bro. Look at my guy. He goes, Roger and Clay are my besties on Insta, and then even though I don't really talk to Clay that much, I don't care. He's my bestie. Love you, bud.
Well, you just gonna forget about me, man? Get out of here, bro. Keep doing this thing.
I'm not Sunny. I like even Matthias coming at him now. But like, and then you see all these like big Hollywood actors just like posting now, like you always thought them as cool, like pretty high people. They're decent human beings. Now they're just like coming out of the woods, just like all these like teen girls, and they're coming at Trump now, just like say, like I saw like Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker and the Joker post a picture of him like holding like a pumpkin that just has like carved in like Trump behind bars. I'm like, who cares? Just stay out of it. Don't why post that? Just even if it was even if it was the reverse way and it was Biden in the bars, I'd still be like, just stay out of it. We're here because you're Luke Skywalker and you're Joker. Like, who cares? Like, what your affiliations are like that.
That's very true.
But you have to consider too, if he didn't say anything about it, he never once posted anything. In about 5 years, next election time, Karen's will be pulling that up out of his feed and everything, saying, he supported Trump. He's staying quiet about it. So it's like, you can't do anything.
You can't win, man. You can't win.
You can't win, or like, it's just how it is.
It really is like it sucks that we live in a day and age where you need to like really watch what you say because people are gonna bitch and moan about it.
Exactly.
Oh, here he goes.
It's sister time. I'm getting all these Hero Factor figures ready for like the next few days.
Oh yeah.
Sell them and everything, or like post pictures of them so I can sell them. Like this one actually looks pretty cool. Like there's a few.
Yeah, that looks dope.
Like and then there's like this one and stuff.
Oh,
like,
Surge. I fuck with that. That's dope.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool ones.
Oh look, here goes Jackson speaking facts. Can't wait till it hops in here.
Yeah, we can't have our own opinion.
Yeah, people can't have opinions because everyone else just hates it. Like, what do you call it? You say you like Trump, people want to attack you. You say you like Biden, people want to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what? Mind your own business, bro. It's like you getting mad at me isn't gonna change my opinion about something. You just make yourself sound stupid.
Exactly.
Like you can hate me all. Like you could fucking hate me all you want. I still don't like Kingdom Cyclonus. Like you can, like fuck you.
Exactly. Same way. I feel the same way.
We went from political stuff.
No, we're talking about opinions, like how you can't like have an opinion about anything.
Oh yeah,
they're just kind of related to that. Like Energon Seeker, bro. The world is in flames. We just playing with our toys.
Like what do you call it? Derrick can hate on me all he wants. Like I still think Andy Serkis is a pretty unknown dude.
Dude, I swear to God,
do something, pussy.
Hit it. You won't hit it.
I dare you. Hit it right now. Hit it right now, pussy. I just punch you in the face.
You're gonna hype him up too much. He's just like put his hand through his wall and be like, ah.
Bro,
die.
I mean, there's no point in just like sitting there like, look, like it's like you guys. The best example, like, using Andy Serkis, but the best example is Bumblebee. Like, I can't force y'all to like that movie.
Exactly, yeah, and I can't force you to dislike it.
Movie, bro. I literally don't. It don't affect my day. I think Transformers 07 is the best movie ever made. Like, if you don't think that, okay, whatever, it doesn't affect you. Why do you care?
Chasm 2 is a good movie. I agree. It's good. I like it.
Like, if you don't agree, then you don't agree. Why do you care so much if people like what you like?
Exactly. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and just come at Derrick every day because he doesn't like Bumblebee, because he likes Bumblebee. Like
the best Spider-Man of all time. Like,
like, come on, man. Like, what like, bro?
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man. I don't care.
He is the best primer. There you go.
Dude, I rewatched TASM 1 the other day, and it just blew me away. And then seeing the second one, like I see like the errors, but at the same time, like, it's really not that bad. Especially like, the first 10 minutes. Like I watched that IG end spot on like YouTube, and like in the first 10 minutes, I'm like, dude, that's amazing, dude. Like honestly.
Facts, bro. People just, I don't know, man. They care so much. They care.
It's not Tobey Maguire, so I have to hate on it.
It's like, yo, who at the end of the day, you must have some kind of a life. You have to have some kind of a life, bro. Like you gotta be able to do something.
Spending your entire life on social media, attacking everyone that some people you're never gonna meet.
Exactly, bro. Like this stuff's annoying. Like on every spectrum, like somebody always has to attack somebody or something, and it's like, bro, it's not that deep. It's really not, unless their opinion is like dog shit garbage. Like whenever
unless it's blatantly wrong,
I get pissed off.
Exactly, same. They hate on Bayformers, bro. I'm automatically like, all right.
I'm like, bro, just shut up already.
It brings in my inner, asshole. So then, like, yeah, exactly. I can be really nice, and then people like just say something that's blatantly wrong and compare it to something else that's like not just obviously not as good. It just pisses me off. So I'm like, all right,
and it's like
ready to get canceled.
And it's like it's cool. Like I'm cool with someone else's opinion. Like if they tell me genuinely something that they have a complaint about Bayverse, I'm not gonna go crucify them. If they're like, oh yeah, so and so was so and so, like, all right, yeah, it's cool. But it's the people that's go and blatantly hate on it, which pisses me off so much.
Yeah, they be smart for this reason.
It's like,
he said Optimus Prime and Bayverse doesn't have the axe coming out of his hand, so automatically that's
bro. Trevor, if you're watching this, bro, fuck you.
Fuck you.
And your mom.
God. Like, dude.
Sorry.
That doesn't make him a bad, bro. That doesn't make him a bad adaptation. Period, bro. Like, get out of here. And then saying, "Oh, Optimus Prime's a murderer." He doesn't. I'm like, it's a war. Have you played War with Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron? Have you seen Transformers Prime? Like, this is a war they're going through right now, brother. This is a war, bro. This isn't pancakes and little dilly time, bro. Like, come on now.
You get them down, and no, don't worry. We're gonna separate ourselves from them. We're gonna let them live, just like come back and kill someone else later. It's like, all right. And they wonder what happened. Optimus had so many opportunities. Had he dealt with them earlier in G1, the entire like destruction of Autobot City, all that stuff would have never happened. They wouldn't have lost all those lives. Wheeljack, Wind Charger, all of them. They didn't have to go. But no.
To be fair, it was a very child-friendly show until that movie happened.
Should have killed him
real quick.
Should have killed him earlier.
Like in the beginning of Transformers, the war was like, okay, well, hey, I get shot, but at least I'll come back later. In the movie, they get shot, they stay down.
Like I like how I like how Cybertron has been fought on millions of years. That's what I was referring to earlier. How Cybertron's still like there's no battle damage anywhere. It's just perfect cities still just chilling.
Cybertron looks amazing.
Look at this shit. This is exactly what I mean. Like, Adonis likes IDW. I'm not gonna go fucking crucify him because I think it sucks. Like, I don't think it sucks, but like, it's the same shit. Like, he's not gonna crucify me. I'm not gonna crucify him. Like, shut the fuck up and let me like what I like, and you like what you like.
Everyone getting ready for 3 while Clay, Derrick, and Roger and the boys talking about toys.
Like, bro, it's so annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like, people like this shit on the 2014 TMNT movie. That is like my favorite. Except for the 2007 version, because I love that was my favorite.
It's so good. I love Michael Bay as the director. It's so like it's just my film style. I like that kind of style.
Yeah, he's really good at what he does. There's something about Michael Bay that I like is that he knows what kind of movie he's trying to make.
Exactly. He's trying to be something he's not. Like
he's not like some kind of freaking Alfred Hitchcock.
You're out here trying to make a fucking straight love story and everything that that would not work.
He's literally just America the director.
Yeah.
That's just it. That's all he does. He just directs.
You have the directors that are built for like the love stories and horror movies, but then that's his thing. Big summer action movies and stuff.
Exactly. He's good at what he does. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I feel like people overestimate the Bay movies. Like, they're made to be big summer blockbuster movies. Explosions, pretty girls, explosions, cool shit. But people act like it's supposed to be like fucking TFP, like a whole couple season long show with great storytelling and great characters. Like, they had 5 movies, maybe each 2 hours each. Like, take it the fuck easy.
No cap, bro. Like, I mean, to be fair, I still think Transformers 1 is a masterpiece of storytelling. You ever tell me different?
Yeah, I think Transformers 1 did the story the best.
Like, even then, like, the other movies, it's like they knew what they were trying to be the whole time. You know what I'm saying? They weren't trying to patronize you or whatever. He knew what he was doing. So why are you all acting like, oh geez, these are worst movies ever? What he did was he brought the franchise into more popularity. He brought it into more of a spotlight.
Imagine, like, I just want people to be able to see where it'd actually be at right now if he hadn't done those movies.
Bro, dude.
Then I'm gonna see how many people still hate on him.
Dude, Transformers will be coming back like right now. This will be the time they probably finally be coming back.
I doubt that.
I don't think it ever would have. I really don't think it ever would have.
Like G.I. Joe is gone. Where's G.I. Joe? It's gone.
Roger, Sonny said that you get too much hate on Insta. I need to hug you. Someone hug you.
Hug me. Here we go.
Like seriously, bro. Like
that was nice.
Like G.I. Joe
that was nice.
Is,
I like your smell.
The only Hasbro like franchise that's booming right now is probably My Little Pony. That's probably not it. That's the only one that probably will survive the test of time. But like, yeah, G.I. Joe's the best example because that franchise fell off.
Seeker needs some talkies, bro.
Here you go, bro. But what do you call it? War for some of the games happened because of Bayverse. TFP happened. Pretty much everything after Bayverse happened because of Bayverse. Like people want to downplay the legacy of Michael Bay so much, and that's what
we wouldn't have had this beautiful man without the Bayverse, bro. We wouldn't have had that. Well, I don't know where I'd be without TFP, bro. That's just my baby.
Bro, it's like the Yankee with no brim, but it's Clay without a line, bro. Like, imagine that.
Exactly. Me without a line, like, I'd have Bayverse and everything, or I wouldn't technically have Bayverse. So I would be nothing. Oh, I'd have the MCU. I'd have the MCU. Never mind. But even a lot of things of the MCU was actually like, they actually inspired each other in other ways. Like a lot of the battles and everything, and just like some of the plot points, you can tell they got inspired off of each other. So I like his movies in general, like Michael Bay's movies, like honestly influenced so much what we have today. So, like the entertainment industry would be so much different without him.
Shoot, man, the blockbuster, the summer. I think the whole action-packed finale, the whole beam shooting up into the sky thing that everybody copies off of Dark of the Moon. There's the alien invasion of Dark of the Moon. That was one of the biggest action battles ever. That's why the movie made $1 billion because of the final act. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so much that Bayformers did.
Summer blockbuster back in the day before Bay used to be like I don't even know, like the original Ninja Turtles movie and stuff, like just like no like.
I'll be right back, boys.
There's a little. There's a little bit of something.
A little bit of throwdown, a few punches thrown, some jokes, and that's the blockbuster. But now, the expectation is just insanely high after Michael Bay.
Man.
We need big explosions.
Exactly. Like everything needs to be going down, and it's crazy because although I love the old TMNT movies, I definitely prefer the 2014 one. Just
definitely, I like how much more aggressive and brutal it is, and like how much more modernized it is. With the way they talk, they actually seem like kind of like teenagers and everything.
And they're different. They have so
they act different too.
Issue. Yeah, they have different personalities.
They don't all like just they're not all the same person basically.
Yeah, in the old versions they all feel like one turtle. Like Raphael is not so. I mean, he may have like
his anger, but not that bad.
But like Mikey, Donatello, Leonardo, they all act the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They all have they don't feel different enough. And with
exactly.
the 2014
you really connect to it.
Yeah, exactly. They all felt different. They all felt like different people.
They literally look the exact same. They just had different colors of masks on, like you know. But at least in like 2014, they all had different looks and everything to them. And I like how, it's Sonny, how Michael, he didn't even write them, he directed them. That's another thing that hits me a lot, because just because his name is like on the director placehold, he gets all the hate, when really a lot of the time you need to give a lot of that hate to the writers, because a lot of times, that's their thing. All he has to do is establish the shots and everything and, do all that. He's got to just film the thing and, tell everyone where to be and all that. He doesn't like sit there and write like every aspect. Okay, this is going to happen now, or like all that kind of stuff. It's just I don't know.
Right.
He gets all the hate when really it needs to be kind of distributed more for like some of the flaws that they had.
Right. Because you can't. Not every director can control the script they're given. Not everyone.
Studio tampering is such a bad thing nowadays. Like, there's so many good like films and projects that have just been ruined because of studio interference. They need to let they hire that director on to really share their own vision and kind of take care of it, the way they want to. And then when they like tell them what to do, that's automatically just them signing a paper that says this is gonna flop.
Right, bro. It's sad, man. It's really sad.
They're saying the election's bad close and it might come down to like 4 states.
I was gonna say, yeah, I know it's close. I have it sitting there pulled up in my Chromebook, and I'm like just watching some like the tallies and everything every once in a while. Like I have like my screen like kind of half and half, and like during the entire time we were talking to Aaron, like I wasn't paying attention to it, but as soon as he left, like I looked over at it, I'm like, holy shit, it is really close. Like Pennsylvania, I don't know if Texas went over to Trump all the way, and same with Florida. Florida looks like it will, but those are the main battleground states right now, and those 4 right there, like or 3 technically, those could really determine it. Pennsylvania, Texas, and Florida are huge right now.
Hey, Adonis. I think that's Adonis. Yep, that's Adonis. Hey, Rise is amazing.
Energon Seeker, bro. He just switched personalities on us.
Yeah, Rise is.
Yo, you're not a real OG unless you remember when Energon Spooker was Energon Seeker, bro. Energon Seeker 45, man, those were the old days.
I'm not an OG then, because I met him as Spooker.
I think. Wait. Go ahead.
I met him as Seeker. I met him as Energon, or I met him as Energon Spooker. I never met him as Seeker, which is what's crazy.
And you know what's funny? Today is actually a year since I've known Adonis, since he hit me up for the first time, because the whole TF fan base beef happened today. So shout out Adonis if you want to chat later. I'm gonna let you know about that. It's fire. Today's also a year since I got Siege Skywarp. So sad boys, because I sold them.
Hey,
dude, I can't wait for, I think it's like April 10th or 5th, or no, technically like that was the first night we like really talked, is like in April like 10th or something like that. But then the actual like the first time we ever spoke was probably back in like February, I'm pretty sure.
Something like that, yeah.
I guess
it would have to be February, because you hit me up about Bone Crusher, which I got in February. Yeah, which I got while I was still in school. So that had to be like either late February, early March.
And I got added to ROI like a few, like probably about April. Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's cool shit.
A lot of stuff happened around there, actually. That's when all the stuff with my mom went down. Then, like, you remember I had to, like, get the custody battle, move down here.
You told me about that, yeah.
Like, I was just living in my, like, I was, like, sharing my dad's room. Same with Anakin. We're all sharing my dad's room. Had all our stuff just kind of, like, piled in a corner. And, like, I was down there kind of, like, cleaning up the basement and everything. That's when you and Oscar did that live stream. And then I video chatted with you guys for the first time. I got added to Femboy. Because I'd sit there late nights on your streams when you'd sit there and just like talk about customs. Like I remember like you did the energy sword and all that stuff, like chrome out. I told you to, like someone said or you said silver looks cool and everything, and you go, look, I found this old energy sword. I'm like, chrome it, and you did it.
That was funny shit.
That was the days, bro. Old days.
Thank you, Derrick.
Dude, did you see Adonis in the chat? He goes, yes, time for the honeymoon, and just
I see.
Clay, I hit him up about the Ironhead. Yeah, exactly. Like it was the day after, like me and Roger, like the first day after me and Roger had that like long chat about Halo and just all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you hit me up about that Ironhide from the ROI chat.
Yeah, I was like, what do you call it? I know someone who's selling one. I remember he was going to sell me iron for like $25. I was like, I already have an Ironhide. I know a guy, he might sell it to you. Yeah,
I was going to say. And then, yeah, he just hit me up the next day, and I was like, oh, crap.
Sonny goes, are you guys excited for, I don't know what Halloween Kills is, bro.
I think it's one of Sonny's films, actually.
No,
it's one
Halloween Kills.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Sonny's stop motion is fucking cool.
Halloween Kills is a freaking movie about Michael Myers.
Oh, I know Sonny's been making a lot of those films with like Michael Myers and all that, like his stop motions.
Yeah,
so
Sonny. I think Sonny already dropped it. He made
he did drop one.
Stop motion where
Pennywise versus Michael Myers.
He made one where I think like fucking Pennywise just fucking killed RC. I was like, oh, just stabbed her in the back. Yeah, I gotta find it and show you guys.
Y'all crazy. I'm about to sleep. It's that time of night.
All right, yeah. Let's wait 2 more minutes so we can hit the 2-hour mark, and let's fucking call it midnight.
He just wants to hit the 2-hour mark.
Bro, we keep ending at like 1:59.
I told you it's the new Michael Myers film. Y'all uncultured son of a guns. uncultured.
I'm not a big fan of horror films.
Why do I speak with English? I lower my standards. But seriously, it's I love horror movies. I don't like horror movies in the sense where I like making people scared and like putting my characters into horrifying situations. I like being
You're a terrorist.
shit about my main characters, bro. Like if you give me a main character, I will traumatize their ass. Like,
I like the way I remember like you said like I think in the Femboy chat a long time ago, just I want my characters to suffer, like all
yes,
caps
bro.
and everything. Like I like it. I love the
swear to
suffering, just like seeing how they overcome and persevere
Yeah,
through
exactly. That is the whole point. Like if the end, there cannot be a good ending without suffering. Like if
That's
they
what
do
like
suffer, like
that's what
it's
makes
worth
them
it.
like who they are and everything. You know, if like
Definitely,
there's two different types of people. The ones that are just gonna they get knocked down, they're gonna stay down, or they're gonna get back up and keep going. So
Exactly.
That's character development right there.
yeah.
Facts, man. That's my good. That's the good stuff right there.
Me and Derrick eventually need to do like honestly, all three of us need to do like a heavy collab series or something over something.
Man.
Dude, I'm down, bro.
I'm always down.
I'll plan out the action scenes because I'm not good at writing.
All right,
But
man.
action scenes and music, I got you. That'll be fire.
Bet. Still have a dope ass soundtrack.
He's gonna have to get Sleepy Hollow in there, dude. I plan on doing. I might have to do that in my show at some point, or at least like Derrick. No, wait, no. Is Roger's voicing Jazz in your show, right, Derrick?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about that day. You need to like have like if you see like Jazz rolling up or something like that, you need to have like you just barely hear Sleepy Hollow playing in like the car or something like that.
Bro,
that'd be the best cameo.
That'd be so dope.
Easter eggs, bro.
Bro, I swear, if we do that collab, bro, the whole soundtrack has to be me beatboxing it. Like shit like that.
You got beatbox the Transformers things. You got beatbox the Transformers thing.
Yes.
I can't beatbox. There you go. You gotta do that whole thing. Do that. Roger's gonna voice Blitzwing for me.
I made a joke. I was like, I'll voice Blitzwing if he was gay. And he puts on his story, he goes, Blitzwing is casted. I was like, fuck.
Oh shoot. Another surprise, the voice actor of Starscream and Siege. Hey, tell him.
I saw that.
Oh, congrats, bro.
Tell Raj give Raj the at so we can hit him up.
Hey, shit, yeah. If you guys know the at, let me know. I'll definitely mention Jackson in that one because he just put his on right now. But that'll be cool.
I love Jackson. He's a unit.
And Starscream was actually a good character in that show too. Yeah, I actually liked him.
Starscream was freaking amazing.
He didn't deserve the abuse, bro. Like, he's just trying to carry out like what Megatron expects and gets his arm cut off, bro. It's like,
first
wow.
5 minutes of the show, bow, he loses his arm. Like,
dude, I wonder how they reconnected that. Because like the way it was just cut off so clean, and he didn't even barely react. He's like, ow, and then he's like standing there, just like just chilling, like didn't feel it. It's like, dude, your arm is literally off your body.
Bro, no cap, man. They literally just keep abusing my boy Starscream. But Starscream was amazing in that show, though.
Facts.
Just the worm you'd expect him to be. Literally, just the worm you expect him to be.
I feel like throughout all Transformers, Starscream's always been a solid character.
So is Optimus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Optimus. I don't know.
I
definitely say Starscream has the most consistency in being like the best, like being really good, really well written as a character.
Him in the Unicron trilogy is actually crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've heard that he was like really good in Armada.
Yeah,
I heard the same. Yeah,
tragic hero, bro.
And then Energon, he was like the slave again, and I haven't seen Cybertron. But
Cybertron, he was really good. Cybertron probably my favorite Starscream.
Oh, word. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, definitely like Starscream. He's just one of those top tier Transformer characters. Period.
Yeah, he definitely deserves a place in the Hall of Fame. He's just always a solid character.
Honestly, no, that was like actually to go somewhere with it. That was probably one of my favorite scenes in Transformers: The Last Night. Megatron caught the Starscream's head.
Yes, that
was actually pretty good. That was actually pretty good. Like to see him to see him just like lament on how how far they've come or whatever. Like that's pretty dope. I do not need some.
Like, look at this. Cybertron Starscream literally slapboxed God, bro. Like, he is a fucking good ass character. He just beat the shit out of Primus. He's like
that's interesting. that is actually the craziest shit I think I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What? How you fight Primus?
Bro, he slapboxed God, bro. He literally slapboxed God.
I'm saying, like, how does this dude get?
He went duck and weave, bro. Duck and weave. It's fucking crazy.
Why are people like this?
He got power from like the cyber keys and it became giant and literally went to go fight Primus. But his arc wasn't really finished the best way in my opinion because he just kind of disappeared. So I was like, all right.
Disappear in the end.
Damn.
Like he just like drifted off into space or some shit.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
But yeah, it's 11:49. I know you want to go to sleep for work, Derrick. So thank you everybody for watching.
That damn job.
Oh, nice.
Nah, man.
What did he say?
He quit his job.
You quit your job, really?
Yes, bro. After that freaking walk home, like what was that? Like what? Monday?
I thought you had like guaranteed rides home or something. Like, what happened?
Man. I was way too far away from a bus. I was like wandering around for hours. I was like, bro, I'm lost. So never again. I'm just gonna go to sleep because I'm still worn out from like walking like that. But like,
I honestly feel you.
Drain my energy. But yeah, bro. We should definitely call tomorrow. See what we're gonna do for get Lindsay's questions all together.
We still need to work on David K's question. I only have like 3 of them.
He's sooner.
We definitely need to work on everybody's stuff. Have that all done. Hopefully tomorrow. Cause I'm not doing anything but looking for another job. So let's do it.
All right.
All right, y'all.
All right, thank you for watching, everybody. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you guys, bro. Appreciate you.
Nice, like little political section we had. That's pretty fire.
Okay, bro. We got real with y'all for 1 minute.
Exactly.
I honestly think this is probably the best episode we've had.
Oh yeah, TF Talk gets real, bro. We let you guys know.
We should definitely keep.
Hey, I think that honestly is better because we're not like extremely guarded, going against like the standards of society, and just kind of coming out and just saying how we feel about stuff. I like that.
Yeah, this is the point. It's TF Talk with the boys.
Everything, like every wild thing with like stuff like that, like controversial stuff.
Definitely, yeah, it'll be cool.
Yeah, bro. We definitely gotta keep it real. Always keep it real, because we keep it real, people they're gonna keep it real with us. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's how I operate. Like that's why I say the stuff I say in my story. Like I'm just keeping it real with you guys.
Exactly.
So I like that we're being real here too.
I like it a lot.
Jackson says thank you. I appreciate you, Jackson. You were here the whole time. That's some good shit, bro.
Same with Shantina, Jackson. Sonny was here for a long time. I know that.
Sonny's been here the whole time. Yeah,
Adonis has been here for a good minute. Matthias, yep.
Yo, Matthias, that was funny as shit. I was like, Matthias say something nice for once, and fucking Aaron heard that.
Yeah. He goes, what does he sometimes not say anything nice or something like that? And we're like, God, dude, we got some stories we can tell you about Matthias. Love you, Matthias.
But yeah, appreciate you all. We're finna end this right now. So
yep.